All right, so where are we going with this? So did you go somewhere else? What's going on? Who did you refi with? Okay. Okay. So as they were funding, what happened? You had zero balance on 3 credit cards? Wow. Good. So what happened? What happened? You had zero balance on your credit cards. How much was on there before?
Probably if we average out $4,000 each, maybe.
From around 12 grand.
Yep.
Okay. So I would be happy and also very inquisitive. I got 12 grand paid off. What happened, Scott? I am waiting here, not knowing what the hell happened. I thought this was another problem where you were going to tell me, you know, that you couldn't get your loan closed or something. So what happened?
So, well, the concern is we had debt paid off that we hadn't authorized to be paid off.
Well, I wouldn't care if somebody paid off my debt. I mean, do you know something? If I went online and paid your credit card off, there is no crime. I can pay off as many credit cards as I want, and you can't get me in trouble for it.
And this was
so who was the Good Samaritan that paid off your credit cards?
As far as a financial institution, you know, authorizing a HELOC.
Wait. No. You didn't tell me that part. You see, you didn't say anything about authorizing a HELOC. Here's what you told me. Tom, we went online and found our credit cards had been paid off. So I said there's nothing wrong with that. So what exactly are you telling me?
The checks were issued by the credit union.
Wait a minute. Your credit union paid off your credit cards. How nice is that of them? Why did they do that?
That's what and that's what we've been trying to find out.
Why do you care if they paid off your credit cards?
Because we didn't authorize it, and now we have to have all those charges reversed.
Wait a minute. What charges reversed? You're confusing me, Scott. Here's why. You went and got your house refied, and when you found out your credit cards were at a zero balance, courtesy of the credit union, you're upset. I don't understand what's going on. I don't know why your credit was paid off, but why are you upset about it? What part am I missing here?
Because the credit union, we did not sign off on any paperwork.
I understand that.
Anything with them.
Okay, so why are you upset that they paid off your credit cards?
Because they have to. We have to have those the payoffs reversed so that
No, wait a minute. Why do you have to have the payoff reversed? You found out your credit cards had been paid off free of charge, and you're upset, and you want them to put the money back on your credit card. Scott, hold on a sec. I got to take a break. I am totally confused. You had your credit cards paid off free, and you've refinanced your house, and now you want the credit union that paid off your credit cards to take the money back and to have debt that you didn't have before. This is mind-boggling to me. Now, I am not hearing something. I don't know what it is, but I'm not hearing something. I would kiss my credit union if they gave me a gift and paid off my credit cards. I don't know why you're upset about it. We need to figure this out. He's calling me because when he refinanced his house, he found out that somebody went in and paid off his credit cards. Now, I haven't heard a problem yet. Let's stay tuned to see if we hear a problem. That's all I want to hear is a problem that I have not heard yet. One Clear Choice Garage Doors, I'll tell you that. They're no problem. They're a great company if you ever need garage doors or openers or any part of a garage door. Give them a call. They'll even do free inspections if you mention Martino from top to bottom and make safety adjustments, tighten bolts, and do all of that and give you a written report with no obligation. Garage door openers starting at just $299 with Wi-Fi, battery backup. And time to close feature 303-565-6409, 565-6409. I understand, Suzanne. This is great radio, but he hasn't told me the problem, and I can't very well bait him.
At the same location, one eastbound to crash there at Lowell, and a westbound stall blocking the left lane at Lowell as well. So watch out for backups on both sides of the highway. Also, there's crash.
Oh my God, there's two over there. That's what happened. Hey, is it okay if I plug in there? I just have to email a few things out today. This is?
Traffic on that.
Yeah. I just don't want to trip anybody. Here. It's here. This is a 0. Okay. And then it's iHeart Guest Connect M3X. I mean, you see, but I just want that clear. That's a 0 for you. Okay. I will unplug. You can take a picture of it if you want. Yeah. I'm going to grab it one way or another.
Hey, Stephanie, you got a new website that I can go grab for your banner and stuff?
No, but I can email you some if you want that.
Yeah, email me that, and I just want to put it up with your...
Can I have your email?
Dan, D-A-N, at troubleshooter.com.
No, we're still in mid-process trying to get all this swapped over.
So just so I can put it up here when you talk. So Dan at Troubleshooter, all one word.
Even better rates. They also have the pick your term loan. You may not want to go back to.
And this is the old one. I'll just get rid of this one, right?
Yeah. My new card should be in pretty quick, and we'll be swapping out all of that.
But if you get something, anything that I could just like cut out and put with your number.
Absolutely, I do.
Opportunity lender regulated by DORA and MLS.
I can send you in just a minute.
Okay, not a problem.
445 ideal.
Because it'd be good to have it, like say, when they when he introduces you and everything, just to, that's like, you know, when you guys talk, I flipped over that camera to you and then put that underneath your.
Down to 32 ways. My mood has changed. I don't get stressed out. It gave me so much more energy to walk, energy to play sports. Everything is starting to work again. It feels like I'm 25. My wife is happy. I'm so happy. I'm a completely different man.
I switched companies on the 1st after my company got bought out.
You get a big payday? You know what?
No, we weren't even informed of the buyout.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But then I had to make an emergency trip out of town, so haven't exactly gotten a lot of this stuff finished yet.
20 years younger. Go to Metro 400.
I'm not switching out. That's why I can't see people who like to switch around different companies. Everything. You got new cards. You got
Sign.
right, emails, new.
Is this password case sensitive?
I believe. I'm sure it is.
Finding a doctor who's focused on deferring or eliminating the need for a total knee replacement is key. Because knee replacement is major surgery with all the risks and complications of bleeding or infections. So we ask, wouldn't it make more sense to try?
Now, you guys were listening to that call about the credit cards, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, I did that on purpose because I can figure out what happened, right? But can you figure out what happened? Do you know what happened probably?
I do, but I understand the way that works.
Too much on you, isn't it, like that?
Yeah, we can turn those off and hey, let's turn.
Except I hate those fluorescents.
You do, huh?
I mean, I know you love them.
No, I don't love them. It's just the even light. And see, these here, what happens with these is,
let me just say,
in fact, we, like say,
You can just turn them back off and that's great.
We try daylight.
we can, but what happens is when the camera goes in there and it sees that, then it makes everything else dark.
What about that one? That one? These two would not affect anything. Can you just see,
The only thing when it shows the signs on marks.
you know, not here right now,
right?
But let's just see. That's not enough light? No, it's
No, I think it will be. I think it will. Like I say, it's just that when the cameras get a light, either on you or whatever, they try to adjust. And then
I would just like some natural light if we could, but I'm not going to fight. If you want it.
How you doing, Dan? Good, Frank. How you doing?
Good, buddy. Good. That's Frank Duran, the real estate man.
That's
How
right.
many people say that to you, Frankie?
You know what? My family does that to me. My
Do
son.
they?
Yeah.
That's good. That's funny.
That is so funny.
Do people ever say Frank Duran, the real estate
Sometimes people call and say that, yeah. They'll ask, is it really you? If I pick up the phone, they don't think I really pick up my phone, I guess.
You don't say I answer like that?
I would say, hey, it's Frank, and they, really, is it really you that picks up the phone? Yeah.
On Denver's Talk Station, 630 KF.
Let me get the real friend.
Hi, I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK. Live on YouTube as well. Live on Facebook. Those feeds doing well, Dan? We're up and running. Okay, listen. I can figure out what's going on with Scott. He hasn't told me, but I can read through the lines. What do you think happened, Frank? What do you think happened?
They paid off his credit cards. I'm confused as you are, I guess.
Okay, but you can't figure out probably what reading between the lines. So, Scott, so what is the problem with them paying off your credit cards?
It was because we didn't actually sign any loan documents with them.
So are you telling me, because you haven't told me, are you telling me there is a loan out from that credit union that they did go ahead and approve and fund a HELOC?
Yes.
They did. So you just went online, you did an application. You say you did not sign anything authorizing them, and then they funded a loan for how much?
I'd have to go through and find all the,
But Tom,
the details on
Yes,
that.
Suzanne.
what's weird is Scott says he doesn't have a second on his house. So
Well,
it's not on his credit.
I asked you to run an O&E. Did you run an O&E?
I just got the address about 10 minutes ago, so I got to give that to Frank.
Well, how do you know you don't have a second on your house, Scott? Well, I know because American Financing would have never refinanced you if you did.
Exactly.
So, but
And
how
that
do you
was-
know for sure? How do you know for sure?
I guess I don't know. for sure
Frank,
other than-
could we run an
than
O&E
what
while we're on the air?
American
Okay, we're going to run an O&E during the break, okay? Hold on. Now, if in fact they did a second on your home without your authorization, and they don't have a second on your home, they can put one on now, by the way. I got to figure out what's going on. You did get value for it. It didn't hurt you. You could always pay it off with the money from your that's what your refi was for, to pay off the credit cards, right?
Correct.
So the refi you did with American Financing, you can use that extra money to pay off that HELOC if you had to. I'm not saying you want to do that. I'm still, listen, it still bothers me, as it should you, that you had a loan funded without your knowledge. Now, Mark just joined us. This guy this guy says he went online, filled out an application, decided not to go with them, went somewhere else, got a loan, but the first people he applied to, approved it, funded it, and paid off his credit cards, and he says he didn't authorize. I'm almost going to bet, in my mind, $1 million that there's no way that your credit union would have done that without authorization.
How would they know even what bills to pay off?
But the credit union is admitting to the mistake, I think.
Well, let's call and
According
find
to
out.
Scott.
Because I'll bet you they don't.
But
I'll
how would
bet
they
you
know
that
what credit cards to pay off?
Good question, Scott. How did they know? This is called disbursement of funds. How did they know how to disperse the funds?
As they were getting the information, they wanted to know the account numbers and the payoff amount.
Got it.
So you gave them, did you write them on the application?
That was in an email to them.
Scott, do you want to bet that when you submitted that application, you agreed and authorized them? You want to bet?
Well, of course he did.
I would take that bet because the back and forth that I've had with them.
Let's
to this
bet
point.
lunch, because if I win, I'm going to transfer that lunch to Mark because I owe him lunch, and by
There's a
proxy.
lot of lunches around here.
Yeah, you know what though? Here's the deal.
Lunch by
God
proxy.
knows he's keeping it. He knows I truly owe only one.
That is so untrue.
He owes
it
me
is not.
20.
I have never, ever agreed to lunch with Mark except one time, and he keeps saying I owe him lunch. It is the most
I'm going to start
outrageous
pulling
thing.
tape.
In fact, well, go ahead.
I
You go
will.
ahead.
I'm gonna,
I have never
There's
once.
so many.
Then you should
it's
be able
so
to
much
find,
tape.
Then you should be able
it
to
might
find,
not be worth the price of lunch.
Find one, and I'll buy you 10. How's that?
Find one,
and I'll
you'll
buy
buy
you
me
10. Yeah.
I will now definitely find one.
No, not
In
the-
fact, there's one from just a few
Not-
days.
not the
no,
one I
no,
just
you
did.
just said it. You just said
Mark,
it. Pull
not-
the one from a few days ago.
That's the one I
That's 10.
admitted to.
Now he owes me
Okay.
10. Dan,
That's the
does
one-
he not owe me 10 lunches now?
Okay, hold on. We got to help this guy. By the way, that's the one, obviously, I know about. I admitted to it. I want you to find one of those other 30 you said.
Yeah.
Now, listen, Scott, I'm serious now. We got to get down to business. Did you call the credit union?
Yes.
What did they say?
My wife was actually the one that found the error. She called them up, and the branch manager was aghast, obviously.
Well, what did they say about it? I mean, did they say
what they told her?
You don't owe the
verbatim
money,
was-
actually, you don't, unless you approved it. I think you approved it. That's a lunch bet with you, not with Mark, with you. I think you approved it.
I don't believe so.
Mark, do you think he approved it or not?
Approved it.
I can't imagine if he didn't approve it, why they would approve it and then pay off all this other debt. It seems insane.
Okay, so listen.
So what they told my wife exactly was that they are on a new computer system and that they funded the wrong one. They funded ours instead of another one.
Okay, now
by
listen.
mistake.
That might have been true, but that's not what I'm betting you. I said that when you hit the submit button, you agreed to let them do it anyway, even though they knew that you really didn't want it. It's kind of like when you make an online purchase and you hit submit, and then you call them and say, by the way, I double booked this by mistake, and they take it off, or they say, don't worry about it, but still, you agree to it. So I'm wondering, if push comes to shove, when we contact this credit union, are they going to say, well, technically, he agreed to it? I don't know, Scott. I want to help you. So first things we do, let's run a second on his house. Let's run an O&E on his house. Second thing we do is call the credit union and get to the bottom of this. That's pretty logical. I don't know where Suzanne went. She's not around, but maybe you can tell her that, Brutus, when she gets back. Okay? That's it. And if I have another roof company problem, I swear I'm going to pull my teeth out and put them in a Cuisinart. Lester, what's going on?
Well, I signed a contract with Tough Roofs in I think it was in November of 2016, and after that big hailstorm.
Okay, so they knocked on your door. They said, no, how did you find them?
And that I don't remember,
Okay.
but it wasn't a person that came like that.
So you signed a contract in November.
Right. And
Okay.
they came
And what did they do, dear? Did they do your roof yet?
They have done the roof. It's completed. And we've paid them,
Then what's the problem now? What's the problem now?
The roof is leaking.
Ah.
And, yeah, and it's around, I guess, some kind of vent holes or something, I don't know. But they did send somebody out to fix it. And he came and did...
So they sent someone... Okay, so far, you signed a contract, you had a leak, they tried to fix it. What's wrong now, dear? What's wrong?
It's still leaking.
Okay, so does it all come down to that you just want your roof to stop leaking?
That's exactly it. And then the interior of the house where the stain is, it ruined the carpet, the drywall, or whatever you call that.
You probably can get more money from your insurance company, not for this damage, but for damage you didn't get to begin with that maybe we might be able to fix up. But I want to know if your roof was done properly or not. That's my main deal right now.
And how long ago was the claim?
November of 16.
And it was a claim, right?
Yeah.
I know someone will look at it. Let's get Freddie out there.
We're going to do a few things for you, Lester. First, we're going to get the roof looked at to make sure it was done properly.
That would be good.
Second, we're going to get your claim looked at to make sure it was done properly, because there might be more money available to you, okay? And the only thing, and by the way, that's only if there's extra money would this guy even charge a commission. We don't make any money on him, but he charges a commission. But what difference does it make? You've already closed this claim. If he finds more money, more power to him, and it might help you get through the other stuff. So here's the other thing. Suzanne, we need someone who can go out and look at this roof, one of our experts, and then we need to do the rest. Okay, so Freddie, we'll put you in touch with Freddie as well, so get Lester's phone number. Then the third thing, the company itself, the roofing company, it's not like they've ignored you. They've been out to your home, so I don't want to...
Well, they have ignored me the second, since the...
Well, okay. Now, you understand everyone is slammed and busy. I'm not making excuses for the company. I don't even know who they are. Who are they?
Tough Roof.
What is it called?
Roof.
Tough?
Tough Roof. In Monument.
Spell that. T-O-U-G-H, Tough?
No, T-U-F-F.
Okay. T-U-F-F, roofs. Okay. Okay, let's call Tough and see what they're going to do. If it's in Monument, I don't know who we can get. Do we get someone from the Springs, Mark, or do we get someone from here? We'll figure it out. Hold on a second. 303-713-8255. Man, we got a busy day. And coming up, we're going to talk to Ideal Home Loans as well as Frank Duran, the real estate man, and Stephanie Thomas. We got Frank and Stephanie, Remax Brokers, and we have Brent, of course, with Ideal Home Loans. We'll talk about all of that. And speaking of hail and hail damage, there's never been a bigger hail season than the one we've had when it comes to damages, especially when you throw in that giant mall. Oh, my God. Was it Flatirons? That's like billions of dollars. Well, anyway, for your car, I recommend Flexident, the preferred way to repair your car. And they have multiple locations and can get you right in. So it is convenient and it's quick, and you will never know the damage is there because it's paintless dent repair. They massage the metal to perfection. In fact, it's the kind of thing you don't even have to disclose when it's fixed because it is perfect and it does no harm at all to the metal. Give them a call if you think you have something that can be fixed without disturbing the paint. If you're not sure, give them a call. They'll be happy to look at it. And the number is 303-619-6273, 303-619-6273, Flex-A-Dent, F-L-E-X, Flex-A-Dent, Colorado.com.
A worldwide phenomena is back. Our 27.
You don't want to keep it on boom. You want to go to the other one.
No, I want to get on this one.
Mark, if I'm not getting somebody who understands hybrid.
Go ahead. I'll tell you when it goes.
Mark,
What?
if there's a reason he's not coming on with the guy. I mean, I've tried, okay?
Okay.
So you're harassing me about it.
That drop it all
Okay,
together?
he said he had talked to you
worked
about
with
his
your wife?
tinnitus. He was on pain medication, and you told him that. He said you gave him a particular guy's name that wasn't the
No,
Raleigh
it's
house.
upstairs.
No.
It's
It's
zero.
all on that one. So I pulled it out completely.
That's what
So
he
this here,
means.
if you look at this here.
A psychiatrist's name. Okay. Can
Oh,
you give it
plug
on
it in.
air or off
Now,
the air?
How are you?
How are you?
I'm
Give me that info, and I'll give it to him again, because this guy
running
is
kids around my wife's house now.
Actually, come along.
That's okay,
So
I
that's,
got you.
yeah, so it might be a bad
So I'm
connection.
gonna
Like, okay.
Is there a different one it can plug into?
No, the output, but what I'm saying is a bad, it looks like someone tried to do something.
Okay, unplug that one then, because this guy's saying it's
Okay,
rattling.
Okay, Frank, you want to come in here?
Hold on, let me look. Nothing.
So it should be nothing, so it's just a left speaker, but now it should be rattling now because we're on boom.
It is. Well, I mean, it's,
Good.
I'm talking here, I still see it popping.
Oh, well, it shouldn't be popping. Because it's out, I pulled it out, I assume this is this.
Damn it, does anybody know Dominic's, let me see if I have it. Damn it. Do you got Dominic's number? Drew? Do you got Dominic's number?
And when he was up here before,
Right,
he
we
said
got the only order.
you can't adjust this up here, it's got to be adjusted down.
You good, buddy?
Good, man. How are you?
Hey, pretty good.
Good.
Because that's going to be a fucking problem.
And this is the worst it's
My
ever
emails
been.
weren't coming
That's
through.
going to be a fucking
Oh, yeah?
Oh, there it is. Now they came through.
I don't have Dominic's.
Right,
I'm going to call the, I know what I'll call. I'll call Corey.
I'll just forward this to Jim, I guess. Gee.
What is it, 713-8000?
Yeah, we are.
Good.
We're, Phoenix is good.
Phoenix is good.
Yeah, I was just down there earlier this week.
Land, how about you?
It's really hot, isn't
Do
it?
you?
Yeah, down
Yeah, it was.
Did you play golf like at 5 a.m.?
No,
Yeah.
I don't ever have time up down there. We got
For the most part,
do
they're
radio
pretty good, I guess.
stuff.
Early.
Yeah.
When you get used to a place that takes good care of you, it's just good to stay with, you know.
John
Really?
Freer, one of our member guests last week.
Are you working
Hey,
at the
Corey,
office?
it's Mark. Can you put me through to Dominic or give me his number? I got something I need to fix.
That phone's okay?
Yeah.
What is it?
That went through.
So 713-8888.
Okay.
Yes, the reception's there. All right, bye.
Tom, the logging into the Comrex box is awesome. Sounds so much better. It's amazing.
Yeah, we got to pump the level on your end.
Yeah.
We pumped it up as much as we can.
Yeah, no, we'll just, so what I'll do when I log in tomorrow, I'll just make sure we test
And when you do
before.
it, Brent, I know this is a psychological thing and you don't even know it, but you have to talk as if you're here.
Yeah, okay.
Because a lot of times, hey, Tom, you know, like you're here.
Right,
It's
okay.
a little psychological because
Sure.
then it sounds too weird if you're not on the phone. And you,
okay.
Because you're literally sounding like you're on a mic, but you went and you just start talking, and it almost sounds weird.
So okay,
it's
perfect.
a little nuance that would never.
So I'll think, when I do it, I'll think, okay, you're sitting across
Right.
the table from me.
Yeah,
We're just,
yeah.
okay.
And we don't have to
That's great
phony it
advice.
up and say, you know, nice tie or anything, but really, just like literally as if I am sitting right next to you.
Okay, perfect.
Tom, good to talk to you.
Thanks,
Hey,
Tom.
man,
Yeah.
you know, thanks, Tom.
All right,
You know,
Tom. Okay, perfect. That's great advice. Thank you.
And with all of your feeds, do that.
Yeah, okay.
Is it a Wi-Fi connection you're doing?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Yeah.
What brand do you have?
So I did the Lucy Live app that I downloaded.
Oh wait, you did it on your frickin' phone?
Lucy Live.
And then
it's a $299 mobile phone app, and then you link into the Comrex box off of that.
Well,
So
what do you mean the Comrex box?
So we'll dial up your Comrex.
Oh yeah, you don't need a Comrex.
No.
But how do you mic into that? Or
So
you just
I've got
talk in your
an
phone?
adapter. No, I've got an adapter that plugs into my phone.
Good.
That links into a junction box and plugs into the mic, and then plugs into a set of headphones. So I can adjust the mic levels off of this and on the box that hooks into the mic. So I'll make sure it's up the next time.
You got it. You got to pump your level. It was
Okay.
there.
Okay. I'll check it before I call you or
We
link
pumped
into.
it.
I'm Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. And I got to tell you, we got so much going on. If you have a bathroom going on, All About Bathrooms is who you want to talk to. I'm going to tell you, bathrooms are all unto themselves. And that's why we have people that specialize in them. But unfortunately for you, unless you're at Bellevue South into Parker and stuff, that's all they serve. They want to serve one area and do it perfectly. So Cherry Hills, Greenwood Village, South, Highlands Ranch, Parker, all that area. They do All About Bathrooms. That means you go out on their wholesale account and they let you shop at their vendors and they do not mark up anything except they do charge for labor. That's it. Now that's a great way of doing business. You know, that's like Mitch Floria does with his granite. This is what these guys are doing. All About Bathrooms. So they'll do it all, and you shop on their wholesale account, and then once you get all your stuff, they come in and do the labor. You save a lot of money for the high-end bathroom you're going to get. 720-524-7546. They're the only ones doing it this way. You buy everything. They give you a list. You go over the plans. You buy everything on their wholesale account. It's delivered, and they start work. All About Bathrooms. Wonderful. 720-524-7546. Hey! We're all about finance today. We're all about real estate today. We're all about your consumer problems as well. This is what I don't understand. And here's what we have to do. Suzanne, did you call we have to call the company, of course, and they're always going to say it's confidentiality, blah, blah, blah. But with him on the phone, you know, Scott's needs to authorize you to talk to the credit union. Did we run the O&E during the break?
Frank is running it now.
You're running it now, so we'll go back to him.
And I'm going to call them in just a minute.
We'll go back to him in a minute. What about the roofing company? It's in Monument. We're going to have a hard time, Mark. Who would you send to look at Lester's roof?
I would put him in the best hands ever, which is Best Hands Roofing.
Okay, and that's Lester, her. So Lester, Suzanne, arrange for Best Hands Roofing to go to Lester, or you can hand it off to Deputy Daff. Then what we need to do is after that send Freddie out there to do...
and get her some free money, baby.
Right, get her some additional money. And then we will call the roofing company, but I think we need to do our homework first. See, we do get directly involved. Where else do you ever see this, huh? Now, I'm telling you, man, I'm getting so upset with Richmond Homes. Here's yet another problem. Richmond Home Warranty. They're not fulfilling their warranties. Carrie, what's going on?
Hi. So, we moved in our house 3 months ago, the end of April, and
they haven't done anything on the punch list.
Well, they've done some, but only like a few things. But when they send people out, they either damage things worse or they don't fix the problem.
Okay.
They
okay.
keep sending me painters that don't speak English and don't know what they're supposed to do.
Okay, and listen, on the English thing, I don't care about that. I just, seriously, I want to get to the bottom of this. I think that Richmond Homes is just going crazy with sales, and they're not keeping up. Suzanne, what do you have to say about this?
So, Tom, as of yesterday, we had Deputy Daff, really bird dog, the media relations folks there to get some resolution for
I want
these
to get
folks.
somebody on.
Well, they won't come on, but we did get a lot of communication yesterday. They are starting to handle these problems that we're getting.
Good.
So
we're going to give them Carrie. Carrie, I don't want to go through the lineage because it's just going to be more of the same. I did this, and they did this, and they did that. Not that I don't care about you, I do, but let's just get you taken care of if we can. What would you say is the major problem right now, the one that really irked you and the reason you called?
Well, I probably have two. One is that everything that's white in the house, so all of the doors, the baseboards, the trim, the windowsills.
Yes.
They're painted both flat white and glossy white, and they're supposed to be a glossy white. And they're telling me that it's my job to fix it.
Why? No. You have a satin finish and a glossy finish.
Right.
And they're
the
intermixed.
They're using the wrong paint.
Because they use the wrong paint. No, you don't have to fix that. That's. How did they say you should fix that, by the way?
They told me it was a house touch-up and I should touch it up myself. They left me a paint kit.
Well, it is a touch-up if it was a touch-up, but it's not a touch-up. It's a mistake. So
Right,
Suzanne, that specifically you can take up with our people. So, Carrie, thank you for calling us. I feel like I'm an extension of their customer service department. Brent Ivinson from Ideal Home Loans. Brent, when we talk about Richmond, are you funding a lot of new purchases over there?
You know, we're doing a lot of new purchases, not specifically with Richmond. They have their own mortgage.
Oh, they do. Okay.
They do.
They give you the free upgrades.
So listen, on that thing, the HELOC, I can't believe they would fund a HELOC without authorization. Maybe it was a mistake could be made, right? Or not? I mean, could have, can't you?
Yeah, we've come across these a couple of times in the past.
Have you ever funded a loan by mistake before it was approved? No. Okay, so if this is if this is funded,
right,
and he did not approve it, let's say, technically there is what you call the quantum Marriott, which is a legal term, Latin, which means you got value, you got to pay, even though it's not in a contract. I don't know how that would apply here. Mark, would you, if this happened to you, and you never authorized it, what would you do?
Why did he want the loan in the first place? Pay off the credit cards?
Okay, let's talk to him. Scott, what did you want the money for to begin with?
To pay off the other debt, right?
Right.
And then why did you not want to use the credit union anymore? You found a better rate?
They were dragging their feet. I mean, we started this process.
So why did you decide not to do it?
Because they were taking too long, so he went to another company.
That's my whole point. So he was still looking for a loan from the other.
Right.
So why wouldn't he simply get the loan if it's a better rate, if it's a better deal, and then pay off the credit union and it's done?
That's what I said, except if there were origination fees. Brent, wouldn't that cost him some money or not?
Yeah, there typically are some fees involved.
But they'd probably waive it.
I'm sure the credit union would get rid of those.
Yeah, I would imagine
if they messed up.
Scott, if the credit union simply waives all the fees, and all you're paying back is the actual balance on your credit cards with your new loan, would you be opposed to that?
I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Well, what else is there other? I mean, I'm asking you, just person to person. They say to you, okay, we paid off $12,000 in credit cards, and all these other fees and appraisals and doc fees and everything we're erasing, and we will just charge you that. You take your new loan that you got to pay off those cards, and you just pay them. What else would there be? Is there anything else on your mind? I mean, I know you're pissed it happened, but what if they just make it right? What else is there?
If they make it right, that'd be great.
Okay, so that would be the end of it. In other words, to solve it, that's all it would take. They just simply take all the fees, and you can pay it off.
Did the other one fund it yet?
Yes.
They funded your loan, right?
Funded, it's all done.
So now you have an extra 12 grand or so sitting around because you were intending to pay off credit cards.
It'll look good on his credit, too, if he pays off the one that just paid off the credit cards. I mean, honestly, it's a good credit move.
It'll help his credit tremendously. So, do you still have that money sitting somewhere?
Yes, we haven't touched it.
Good, good. Now, that's all. I mean, I'm not even saying we can get them to do that, but I think we can.
Maybe close that new one and have the credit union give you a better interest rate, waive the fees, and you end up golden.
Well, you can't. On the new one.
He hasn't done anything on it. He said all the money's sitting there. Just pay it off. You never took any money out.
Oh, you mean on the HELOC?
Yeah.
Yeah, pay it off. Right, exactly. Okay, is the only reason you refinanced was to pay off the credit cards, or did you get a better rate?
Pay off credit cards. The rate was better with the with American Financing.
Okay, so that you refinanced and went beyond the HELOC just to get the new lower rate, right?
Yes.
Okay, so keep that permanent loan and just pay off the HELOC, and I would insist they erase all fees and charges. You shouldn't be charged a dime, not one dime for this. Suzanne.
Right, and that's the other
Yes.
part is, I mean, they're having us try to go back, get the account information, get the check numbers, everything else for them to try to get all this going back.
Well, what do you mean? There's nothing wrong with helping them a little. I know it's a pain in the ass. So did we do a second yet, Frank? Is it done or not? The second on his house? They're still working on it. Okay. We'll get that to you, all right? 303-713-8255.
Tom?
Yes.
I did leave a message for the gal at the credit union I need to speak to about their loan applications online. So I'm waiting for a call back.
All right. Stephanie insisted I wore the shirt, so here's what I want to ask. And no, Mark's not allowed to vote, okay? I already see him. No, he's harsh. So.
It's Paisley, first of all.
It is not.
Oh, my God, that's very similar to
Yay or nay, okay? Yay or nay online, that's it. Our online people.
You going to the Bahamas?
Yay or nay.
But are you going to the Bahamas? If you're going to the Bahamas, you look great.
I will say that you said one of the funniest lines in the entire world that Stephanie and I still laugh at. I'm going to tell you about it in a minute. But yay or nay online, we're live on Facebook, live on YouTube. Just tell me. Because some guy said I wear T-shirts too much. Yes.
I'm not sure Mark is the authority on dressing, okay?
Yeah, that's true. But I know he wanted to say something. And listen, we got to take this break. It's very important. And we will talk about some important stuff coming back. No fooling around. We got some good follow-ups right after this.
Here's what happened. He went online.
Right.
And did an application.
Right.
For a HELOC.
Right.
Then they called him.
Did you get a hold of him?
And they asked him other questions, like, what do you want to do with the money? I want to pay off this. He got credit card numbers, and they got all that. Then he said they were taking too long. So he went to American Finance and got refinanced. Meanwhile, when he goes and checks his credit, it's wonderful. All his credit cards had been paid off.
You just looked and it
The
happened.
credit union said, we funded it.
Right.
He said, well, I never authorized it.
But they're here
I
really
think you
bad.
are. I think when
For
you
sure.
submitted,
There's
That's
no,
what
he
he
would have
said.
had to have signed
You know.
a home equity line agreement, wet signature.
wet,
To
you
get
can't do it online?
I don't think so. I think they would require a wet.
He said he didn't.
But he would have had to have signed something.
You know,
somehow.
then I'm going to go one step further. If he didn't sign anything and he was required to, are you sure a wet signature is required?
I'm not sure on that, but I would assume they would want that. I mean, I will tell you our stuff. There are certain things we have to have wet signatures on and other things we can e-sign. But here's the bigger thing. If American Finance came in behind them, American Finance is in second lien position.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know what, I can't believe that it must not have gotten filed on the title because no way American Finance would have closed on a new first mortgage behind a home equity line of credit. They'd had to get a subordination agreement from the credit union, which there's no way they got. So
these guys raise pit bulls too, Tom.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, they've got like 20 of them. They got a whole thing going.
Who does?
The guy I confronted the other day.
Are you kidding me?
Look at this video. They're fucking everywhere.
Where? How did you find this?
Suzanne found it. Look at this. This is look at this shit.
That's the camper too. Where did they get the
That,
video?
look, there's puppies just
Who got the video?
It's on their Facebook, Suzanne.
They dogfight. You know that. You know they're
Of course,
dogfighting.
what else are they doing? Jesus Christ, they all live in that thing. Get away with this shit.
Is that him?
Yeah, the kid. The kid is holding some of the dogs. Right there.
Oh, but it's really going well. Maybe all tore up.
No, you sell them. They might not. They're raising them for that.
They got a rush on it, Tom. I just called them.
There's the guy.
Call Frere. Don't get it done.
Call
Johnny Jr.
John Jr.
Oh, you know John Jr., don't you? The owner of
There he is.
Oh, yeah, I know of him. I don't know him. Yeah.
He played.
Suzanne's on one of them. He's coming out of
a guest golf tournament last
Didn't you
week.
say he's coming out of a liquor store in one of them?
Like, you got a lot of nerve, Shelton Michael, when our member guest is a good guy.
Good, man.
He's a good player. He's a really good player.
You know, golf looks easy, but it's
tougher
so
than
it looks, man. That's not easy, is it?
It's really hard.
Jeez.
What are the reviews like for his company?
Jesus. Can you do a refi on this RV for this guy?
No.
Come on.
Call him out alone.
Yeah, but he lives in it.
He sure does.
So technically, it's his house.
Technically, it's his home. That's a mobile home.
He needs a little cash out, too.
Not on a permanent foundation.
Well, it's actually his business, because he does nothing there, too, like.
Right, it's everything.
That's mixed-use property. We're out.
Brad, are there any changes to like condo rules, like that number has to be 10%, working capital 150%, owner occupied?
You know,
They need to be shifted to that.
so here's what we're seeing more and more. We're starting to see limited reviews on the condo projects, where we're kind of sidestepping that stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing is still killing us on condos, if there's any litigation, we're screwed. That's just, there's no way to get around that. So that's what we're seeing more so than not. The new Fannie releases,
Like I said, I think this close business,
pretty quick. And I heard there's going to be some stuff like that. I haven't had a chance to look at it.
You have a problem? I don't know.
I have. I've run into the non-warrantable situation.
Non-warranted.
Yeah, and I found a bank that will actually do them with a great program on them.
That's right. You have to find.
You owe the IRS more than you can pay. Get your peace of mind back. Go to advancedtaxsolutions.com. Sean Hannity.
Don't tell me the media in this country does not have
Guys, Compass Bank.
Yeah.
Build their BBVA now. They're pretty good.
I will have to look when I have a name.
Later today at 1 on Talk Station, 6:30.
And their program is actually better than an FHA program.
Okay.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, we got a lot going on. And, Jay's, by the way, we have Ideal Home Loans. If you have any home questions, I do have some topics that we're going to bring up with them. We have real estate to talk about, and I really want to do that in the next hour. Alan Stack, let me get him in here because Stack Optical's been in the same location so long, people are actually shocked, and we got a few phone calls. Oh, hey, Tom, these guys are on your referral list and they're not there. What happened? So Alan Stack Optical, they're in business. They've been continually in business, probably the longest running optical store and that I know of. So, Alan, what happened at that location? What happened?
Well, they rezoned it for a 13-story apartment building.
Oh.
So that forced the owners to sell it because the taxes went from $30,000 to $90,000 a year.
Okay, so now where are you? That's the important thing. Where are you?
We're at Monaco and Evans. We're at Monaco and Evans.
I'm trying to visualize that now. Monaco and Evans. Okay, that's a busy area. And so you can get off the interstate and just go east on Evans.
Correct.
And where?
Right on Monaco and just circle right in, right next to the Wendy's and the Starbucks there.
Okay.
Inside the complex.
And do you have a sign up at the old location?
We do have a large sign at the location, and we did send out mailers to all of our previous clientele as well as emails.
Now, glasses are such a thing that you don't have to go that often. It's not like groceries. So, I mean, to go to another location is not going to be a great deal.
No, a lot of folks have been coming in, and they've been actually appreciative that I got out of Cherry Creek because of parking and that type of thing.
Okay, so Alan Stack Optical, new location, basically Evans and Monaco, that's Stack Optical. So here's the deal. If people want to find out more, of course, you're on the referral list, referrallist.com. Did we change your address on there? Did you talk to us here? Okay, good. Wait, that's all done.
Mark, and also stackoptical.com.
Yep, stackoptical.com. Thank you, Alan. And one other thing. Thank you for your niece.
Oh, Allie's wonderful, isn't she?
She's very cool. She's our intern here. We love her. Thank you.
How come she hasn't been here all week?
Well,
I'm just curious.
I don't know. She's had some time to herself or something. But Alan, thank you. Stack Optical now at Evans and Monaco. Yes.
Allie's on vacation in Mexico. She drove there with her friends.
Wow. They better be careful.
We might not see her again.
Oh, don't say that. My God. Ed, what's going on with you, Ed?
Hello.
What's happening?
Well, I have a question about auto insurance and an accident I was in.
Okay. What happened? What's your question?
Well, I'll spell it out pretty quick. I have a car. I had full coverage on it. It got totaled out by the hailstorm in the recent past, and I got paid, for that total out.
Okay, so
I decided to keep my car.
Right. So let me get this straight then. You got paid on a hail claim that totaled your car, right?
Right.
But you kept the car.
Yeah, because it was a bunch of.
I understand. Did you keep the collision coverage?
Well, I think I have that until the end of the month.
Okay, because you should not pay for collision coverage on a car that you don't have coverage for.
I guess what I'm saying is my full coverage continued until the end of this month.
Okay.
And after that, it's changing, to just
it doesn't matter because the collision coverage will not cover you. They're going to subtract. You just won't get any money. There will be no money on a totaled car. You just won't have any money. I'm going to tell you that right now.
Okay.
So.
Well then, so you know that. I don't even know if you needed to know that, but I guess I told you.
Oh,
but
okay.
Anyway,
What was
I was in an accident in my car that's been totaled, but I'm driving around in it. I was not at fault. Someone rear-ended me.
I understand. So what's the question?
Well, should I call my insurance company and tell them about this?
Are you going to use your med pay? Are you going to use any part of your insurance?
No, I don't have any medical. I have no medical problems at all. But,
okay. Is their insurance paying you anything?
Well, I don't know yet.
Now, you can use your insurance company. You got to call them if you're going to use any of it. Technically, you're supposed to call them no matter what. Okay, technically. But that's up to you. I think they're all cheating, lying bastards anyway in the industry, and I don't want to cooperate with them except to tell the truth. And here's the deal. If that other company's at fault, the other party's at fault, and they're going to take care of you, why worry about it? But just
I'm just wondering, am I putting myself in any sort of circumstance by not having my insurance?
That I don't know. Read the policy on that.
I don't think for a car that's totaled, they care.
Yeah, we were talking about that. If that home equity line got filed in front of American Finance's deal, they got a first mortgage and second lien position. They missed it. So if that's the case, I would tell the guy, go to American Finance because they'll take care of getting it all handled in terms of, because they're going to want to get that thing paid off. Otherwise, they're going to sell that loan. They won't be able to sell it.
Even if that thing is not filed? Is it
well, if it's not, no. If it's not filed, then they're good. But if it is filed,
we're still waiting. They said we'll have it within a half hour or sooner. We put a rush on it, though.
2 spots running.
I'm sorry.
3 spots running.
He's doing 2 spots at a time? Let's see.
3 spots and news.
We have a tough HOA to deal with. We closed one, and the HOA wasn't responding to anybody. We had to actually go down to his building there and talk to the person just to get him to respond.
Seriously?
Serious. Unbelievable.
Yeah, it's we run into the biggest messes with HOAs.
I hate it.
We even have a contact down at the state that regulates them all. He's the head of the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those guys now have to be licensed.
Do they?
Yeah, and it's even that.
No.
It's just amazing. It's like the Wild West. And then we'll order a condo cert. Doesn't matter. We'll order a condo cert and get it.
Yeah.
And then we'll call back and ask for like a clarification. And then we get another one, and all the numbers have changed. We're like, wait a minute, did a bunch of people move in? No, we took a closer look at it. It was spelled out wrong.
Oh my God.
Like, wait a minute, what do you mean it was spelled out wrong? Like,
some of them can be really easy to work with, and others you have to run down there and talk to them and try to get stuff done. You know.
Because my extra crispy $20 bill from KFC contains 8 pieces of freshly double breaded crispy chicken. KFC is extra crispy good. Frankly, when you're hiring for a program, you don't need lots of candidates. You need the right candidates. You need Indeed.com. Now further the position your job post with quality candidates on. And screening questions will help you zero in on the best talent. Indeed.com, the site proof is through an independent study to deliver 5 times more hires than any other. New users claim your $50 credit responsive job at Indeed.com/credit. Indeed, the world's #1 job site. Terms and conditions and quality staffing.
Those are real specific situations, aren't they? Jeez, man.
How is this darkness happening with the light? It's not doing well. No? No? Okay.
My client backed out and the guy...
At least used to do those LEDs and stuff.
I'm sorry, I like...
Well, I know a lot of people don't like
We
that.
reflect off the ceiling. You know what it does? When you reflect off the
No,
ceiling...
like I say, fluorescent, I mean, I know it gives Drew a headache and stuff.
Oh, it's terrible. If we could just point up to the ceiling...
Yeah, see, last time I tried to point one, I tore it down. I don't like those lights the way they point. I tore one down.
Did you guys get close?
No, my client...
Oh, that's going to kill Richard.
Yeah.
No, here, let me look at it.
Well, she decided not to, pursue it.
Wow. We saw a lot of that when the market was bad, a lot of lawsuits.
Oh my God.
No, that's good in yours. That's good. That's that. Oh, okay.
I can't see.
Okay, you bet.
I'm going to
No.
watch and see what the hunt's doing.
Here, I'll get it. I'll get it.
Hold on. What I want to do, no, what I want to do is just get it so this thing is not fitting.
I know, like I said, I pulled one down.
Oh, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's why. See,
It's supposed to go all the way through?
like this way. No, but this is the one. Oh, I see. It's the cord. It's the cord that's our limiting factor. I don't know what to do, Dan.
That's fine. Just, I know it was okay. Just point it away from you.
Okay.
And then I'll,
I just can't get it in there, though. That's the problem. I can't.
But when it clips, it looks like that.
Huh? It just won't go in. I mean, it just won't go in. These lights suck.
well, it'd be nice, like, say, if we
Do you know what I'd like to? I mean, literally, I'd like to just, I want to hang the cameras first of all. I can get rid of this.
Right.
But then once we do this, we just gotta.
So you look okay. You look good there.
We just gotta figure out a way to light. And I'm even flirting with the idea of having our own lights. I swear to God. We could have our own lights. And just have them portable even.
If you want, I know we talked about this before, but I'll go buy some. I'll go get, and we won't care about this one here because it doesn't really matter. But 8 LEDs for over there.
How much are they?
About $9.50, $10.
Yeah, they're nothing. Really?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Okay, I'll go get
How
8,
many?
and then I'll. Okay, very good.
Do you know what size? 48?
Oh, they're all the same. Yeah.
But you know what size?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, let's do it because they won't care. It'll be a better light, and if you can get soft white.
Okay, so whatever it's at Costco. It's at Costco, so I don't.
Whatever. Let's just whatever.
Okay, I'll do it. 8 of them. I won't do these 4 over here because this shouldn't bother.
Well, when we turn it on, we may want. We blame on all. Why?
Well, in fact, then it's 16. So do you want?
Well,
there's 4
we can't. Or do we just unscrew those?
We can do that.
Would somebody interfere with that? I mean, I think the soft light would look better.
I agree. I mean, everybody says the LEDs are so much better. Like, I don't have a problem with fluorescent, but
So, I mean, let's just spend the money. There's 16. Let's ask, okay, let's not even ask. Let's just do it. 16 times 10. 16.
Or you want to get all of them?
Yeah. Okay. I think we should, right, Mark? Yeah. Okay. I don't think we'll
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show, the only show of its kind anywhere. Welcome. We love doing what we do. We love helping people. Why? Because it's what we do. And then we're hoping you visit our advertisers, look on the referral list at referrallist.com, and also let us know about the bad guys. That's all we want to do is keep people from having problems. And we'll never run out of problems. We're live on Facebook, live on YouTube, live all over Colorado. And we have an affiliate in Colorado Springs, KRDO. Welcome, folks. We love our Colorado Springs crowd. That's why we have Stephanie Thomas with us from RE/MAX in Colorado Springs. We have Frank Duran with RE/MAX Alliance here in town. And we have Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. We're going to talk about finance and real estate. And there's so much to talk about. Suzanne, what's going on?
So, Tom, the feedback I'm getting on your shirt is mostly from guys, and they like it.
Oh!
So, what does Mark know?
I bet they do.
Now, Mark, oh, God, he is so...
I can't say anything,
What are they saying?
Tom.
I mean, are they
say it
does
looks
he look
nice.
He looks awful
breezy.
dapper.
Yeah.
Now, Mark, the funniest line he ever said, I alluded to it. I gave a little tease. I'm going to tell you what it is. When I told him what my favorite drink was, which, by the way, I'm not doing anymore. I just got sick and tired of it. But it was Quad Grande sugar-free vanilla breve latte with 3 Splendas. He said, and we just laugh, Stephanie and I just laugh at it every time we think about it. And it is, do you want a tampon with that? Oh! It was so funny. Anyway, do you remember saying that? So I get now. I'm just going back to the triple tall Americano.
Mine's a grande latte. Very simple.
Okay. Now, folks, if you can give me the most complicated Starbucks drink that you actually drink, I'll buy it for you. But you got to actually drink it in front of me. You got to. Well, it doesn't have to be in front of me. Hey. Okay, so let's talk about this. It's very serious. Let's get to this. Ed wanted to know, is Ed still on? Because I think I answered his question about auto accidents. Find out.
Okay, I'll find out.
Okay. And then, did we get the second yet on that house? Okay. We're still working on that second to see if there's a second on this guy's house. But, you know, if you need a signature and there's no second and you never authorized it, would you ever take the stand as... Let's say they did not get authorization. Let's say they put the loan on his house without his agreement, without his authorization. He went out and refinanced with another company. They got a first. And it's already recorded. So now, who has the second, or is there? If there's no second, Mark, would you say to that credit union, screw you? I never got this loan. I don't owe it.
I might say it. I personally wouldn't, and I don't think it would matter. You would end up paying that money back.
Because of the laws of quantum. Yeah, betterment, right. So anyway, we're going to talk about that in a minute, but Megan's been waiting a while, so I want to take her, and so has Jay. And Jay's first. Jay's been waiting longest. Jay, what's happening?
Hi. Well, I'm a barber. By trade, I own a barbershop, and I also manage apartments. And I needed some glass work done. I needed a couple panes of glass put in and some screens made for an apartment I'm trying to rent out. So I was looking through business cards of, you know, customers or people I knew, and I came across this guy, Paul Epley, from Shell Glass LLC. So I called him up, and he came down, gave me an estimate on the job. Wrote me out an invoice and asked for $60 per part.
Where are we going with the story? I mean, what happened? What went wrong?
Well, he never did the job. I've never got any parts.
How much did he charge you?
He charged me total $120.
And you paid him?
And I paid him in advance.
Where did you find him?
He was actually a customer of mine.
So I don't know what to do about something like this. I mean, did you pay him cash?
I paid him in cash.
And do you know where he is?
Well, the address that I have for his business is non-existent. It's a driveway. It's ridiculous.
What's his name?
His name is Paul Epley. The company's name is Shell Glass LLC.
Sounds like he's playing the shell game.
I mean, what can we do with this? With $120, he paid in cash. I mean, it's an impossible situation. It's not worth even small claims court. I mean, it is. It's $30 or what is it to file? Actually, I say 30.
I think it's 55 in most counties.
It's 55. Then you file and you got to serve him. We can't even find him. I don't know what to say, Jay. But here's what I want to ask you, and I don't mean this as a put down. I really would be pissed too, and I'd want to call somebody. What were you hoping we would say? Because I'm just curious, because you pay a guy named Paul Epley $120. Were you hoping if you put his name out, maybe other people might know where he is?
Well, not so much as know where he is, just that he doesn't do this to somebody
Well, that's
else.
very kind of you, and I agree with that part of it. But I also think that many times we have people who know people who know people. Hey, I know people. So there might be someone who knows this Paul Epley. So, is it Paul, right?
Yeah, it is.
Paul Epley, and let's talk about everything we know about him. What did he look like?
Well, he's about 55, gray hair, goatee, probably like 5'10", maybe about 150 pounds. 60
So far,
pounds.
you're describing me, okay? Except for the age, okay? So then
Did he say funny shirt?
Yeah. Okay, what car, what kind of car?
I'm not sure. I couldn't tell you
I want
that
to give people some advice that our private eye gave us. He said, if you're going to do business with people, there's nothing wrong with asking them for their name, address, date of birth, or getting their driver's license. Getting a shot of their driver's license on your phone. And I'm serious. Just saying, look, I want a shot of your driver's license. And then get a shot of their license plate. And people, if they are sketchy about it, then you be sketchy. There's no reason. You're out 120. At least it's not, a couple foul. So here's what we're going to do. Paul Epley, around 55, grayish hair with a goatee, about 5'10", 150 pounds. That's the guy. So he was driving a...
I couldn't tell you that. I have no clue.
Was it a truck?
It was like a SUV.
An SUV. Okay. So if anyone knows anything, just leave your information with us. Meanwhile, maybe we'll protect someone else from Paul Epley. Megan wants to know about tenants' rights. There aren't many of them, but at least now in this state we have habitability standards. Go ahead, Megan.
Hi. So about a month ago, I moved into a new apartment, and I'm renting a condo that someone else obviously owns. So I have this management company, and they are completely non-responsive.
Is it the management company of the condo development or the management company of your specific landlord?
It's the management company representing the woman who owns the apartment.
And they're non-responsive to problems like what?
Like the first box went into the apartment when I moved in, and the air conditioner blew up. Then later on that day, literally hours later, the water boiler went out.
Did they fix? Hold on. Did they fix those?
They eventually fixed them, but they fixed them so poorly that it happened again.
What happened again?
The boiler exploded. The guy put it in wrong. The draft
It
wasn't
exploded
right.
like an explosion?
It went boom, pipe everywhere, cracked
Whoa!
the boiler. all
Holy
this stuff.
crap! So Megan,
Flooded my apartment. Yeah.
Megan, get out of there. Why don't you just leave?
Well, that's what I'm trying to figure out how I can do, because they have a security. I've been there maybe just shy of a month. They have my security deposit. I have written them letter after letter. I've called
Well, the way
Colorado
you do it is
Housing
this.
Commission.
Listen, I'm going to tell you how to do it. You go out, you're going to have to fight, and it's not perfect. This is what I would do.
Mm-hmm.
I would go out and find a place while you're in good standing. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Right now. Find a place. And I hope you can, even if you have to use a credit card right now. I hope you can. I don't know, Megan. This is what I would do. Then I would stay there, and I would, how much of a deposit? 1 month?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would stay there for the month without that deposit. It'll take them a little while to get you evicted. And I would write to them saying, you're not getting rent this month because I had to put up with this, 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 and this, and I'm leaving. I'm evicting myself. I'm leaving. And then I would get my deposit back by not paying rent. And then I would leave and go to my new place. I'm serious. That's what I would do. And then if they come after me, I would have documentation that I had a constructive eviction. So I have to cover that first. Before you do all of this, you have to give them notice. And you have to say, under Colorado state law, now I'm not giving you legal advice. You look this up and do it for yourself. This is what I would do. I would say that you're violating standards of habitability by continually having this, no hot water, the plumbing is not in repair, or whatever is wrong. But it has to be plumbing, heating, cooling, electric. It has to be something major. It can't be anything minor. And then you say, I demand that they be fixed within a reasonable amount of time, or consider this notice of constructive eviction. Now, if they don't do anything in, let's say, 10 days, then you can invoke. Right now, you almost have enough time to do it right now. Give them 10 days to the end of the month, and then you stay there through August, and you just leave and say, use my deposit as the last month's rent. But listen, it runs risk of them coming after you and suing you. But if you already have another place, there, in my opinion, with some non-responsive landlords, you have to do that. That's up to you if you want to do it. If you don't, I don't blame you. Again, you can win in court if they do take you to court. You can actually win by saying, look, this is what happened. Here's my email. They never responded. I did a constructive eviction. And that's it. What else? Or you can play better than that. You can do a constructive eviction and leave, like at the end of August, and then ask for your deposit back. They will deny it. Then you can sue them in small claims court for your deposit. Instead of them coming after you, you would go after them. That is another way of doing it. And then hope that the judge agrees that you should get your security deposit back. But that is the battle plan. If you want, Megan, also, because you called us, we can call over there, but really, I can't. I don't feel inclined to do that right now. If all we're saying to them is you're slow on getting her stuff fixed, so is everyone. That's the problem. Okay, hold on. I got to take a break, so I'll talk to David. He's in a psych ward. I'll talk to him. Okay. But I have to take a break. 303-713-TALK, 713-8255. And I have to tell you that I have never felt better than now with BioT Medical. BioTMedical.com. I'm just going to say it straight up, never better. And why? I'll tell you why. Because I've had my hormones optimized, not just replaced, but optimized. As we age, our bodies produce less vital hormones, okay? People gain weight, they feel run down and tired and moody, and they lose libido and desire, blah, okay? I refuse to accept that. I researched BioT first before they even became a sponsor, and I had it done before they became a sponsor. They optimize my hormones. They can do it for men and women to restore vitality and vigor and strength using an amazing cardio-activated tiny pellet just under the skin. What it does is it lasts for 4 to 6 months, secreting the hormones that you need. Don't stop living. BioTMedical.com. BioT, B-I-O-T-E, medical.com.
With this guy on 4. He called me last week to help for a while. He said, I was staying in a hotel, I had $20,000 in suits, stolen, and some other stuff. Now he's telling me he was beat up by a gang of blacks on a golf course. He just woke up from a deep sleep. He's in a psych. He's not bipolar anymore. I don't know why he's calling. I mean, I don't know.
I put him on.
Well, of course, Mark said. No, I understand.
What's this 14-year-old nutcase you're going to bring up?
I'm calling her 4 times.
Hey, I have a hearing loss in my left ear anyway. That's probably why I didn't even notice.
This is what's going out to everybody.
Oh.
So it looks like this is what it is.
What?
It's this.
Once again, lunch, baby, lunch.
But these should be like that.
Hilarious.
Tom, did you hear that drink? You should get a tampon with that, shouldn't you?
I was going to say, if you asked us, I was going to say, your shirt looks like the Little Mermaid met Night at the Disco. So I was like, oh, I got to wear that even to the Caribbean.
It's like an all blue paisley.
Yeah.
That is definitely a Caribbean shirt, though.
No doubt about it. 100%.
You know what's happening? His new bride's dressing him now.
Yeah, there you
go. It's going to start looking even weirder.
It happens, dude. You stop fighting it, and then all of a sudden you wake up and you're dressing something your buddies all make fun of you in.
I'll know when she wants me to wear a particular thing because she'll, iron it and then make sure it's right in my face.
Yeah, here you go.
Like if we're going out to dinner. There's no ifs, ands, or buts what it is.
So we had a guy who worked for us years ago who was colorblind, and you could always tell when he and his wife had gotten in an argument and she was pissed out because he'd show up to work and stuff that was so fast, it was ridiculous. He'd walk into a meeting and I'd laugh.
Pants and
whatever. I mean, just whatever. And he'd walk into a meeting, we'd start laughing. He goes, "Damn it, she's mad at me. She did it to me again."
God, that's
I'm like, "Oh yeah, absolutely."
And you know it.
Oh, for sure.
Holy crap, that is a great story. Man.
Are you done?
There's a, did you hear, you were out of the room, listen to this, man. He had a employee years ago that...
Are you colorblind? I heard that.
Oh, you did? So you could tell when the wife was fighting with him.
Just because she was dressing stuff that didn't match, it was absolutely awesome.
Can you imagine what else you would be doing?
Oh, dude, it was hilarious. He'd come into the office and I'm like, man.
What does that mean, really, colorblind? Can you just not see like one color or all colors?
He was totally colorblind.
Like black and white?
Yeah, like
or grayscale.
Yeah, like he could tell the difference between something that was light and dark.
But no idea if it was red or blue.
No idea, like, what it was.
God, that's so weird.
Oh, yeah. It's crazy.
I wonder how that happens to people.
I don't know.
Right, yeah.
I'm having a horrible reception. I'll get that link to you, but guess what? I might have to do it from my desktop.
Can you send it, can you log onto the Wi-Fi?
I might be able to.
No, I mean on your phone.
Well, no, I might be able to try to do it from here.
Oh, whatever you can do. I just want to get it over to Pakistan.
But you need the actual IDX, whatever.
Whoever who knows about IDX, because I got to call them up and get that plug-in and whatever.
Mark, what does that mean?
IDX is what his website talks to MLS, just a search engine.
Doesn't Ari Colorado?
That's where I get it from.
Do you use it, Steph?
They're going to implement it in my new website.
How much are they charging you to do it, do you know?
I got that far.
Do they have different levels of it, Frank?
Well, this is what I found out. Okay, the basic one's like $5 a month.
Yeah.
But they have other links you can get on. There's this one place I found that's like $70 a month. It's a better quality.
I priced one out at 50.
Or 50, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe
yours is only 5 though.
Right now, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I need to talk to them.
They changed it because before I liked it. Now it's really complicated. They make it too complicated.
Well, that might be part of the website too, but I don't know. I mean, I just got to look at the plugin.
Does that have anything to do with, MLS here was the last group to sell to Zillow along with Seattle, and they sold it to Zillow finally.
Maybe
Wait, so MLSs were independent?
Yeah, they were all independent. Colorado was one of the last ones. The 7-county metro.
What would prevent someone from doing their own multi?
Zillow's freaking huge.
I don't know.
What's special about multi?
Yeah, I actually.
Nothing anymore. Zillow owns it, you're saying, right?
Yeah.
No,
They work a lot, so.
Okay, but you still kind of looking.
Aren't there a lot of lists? Aren't like red?
Yeah, but they're now, apparently, according to our sources at Zillow, we know a couple of the execs. The one here, the 7-county metro in Denver, and the one in Seattle were the last 2 independent holdouts, and they bought them both.
They probably got the best price.
I think they were all independently owned.
Before they decided how
Per state.
Per state.
Are they making?
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK. 303-713-8255. Welcome to the show, folks. Let's do what we can to make your life a little easier. Okay. We have a problem that I think we took care of Megan, right? We said we would call, and we told her what to do. So David has an urgent call. So what is going on, David? Tell me what's going on. Are you currently in a psych ward, sir?
I am.
And they let you have a phone call? You're allowed to call?
You're my second call.
David, are you the one I know?
Yes.
You've called the show before.
I was a realtor. I donated.
And you were a police officer in Aurora years ago.
I was a police officer years ago.
And you were in real estate, and you had called the show a few times. You even went out one time to investigate a case of squirrels in the attic, right?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, that was about 15 years ago. So anyway, what is happening to you now?
Well, I read in the Bible that you have to pay your debtors.
Mm-hmm.
And a person who doesn't take care of his wife is worse than a drunkard.
Now, David, you even donated, and speaking of your wife, you donated a little a chair or something to us, or you donated a motorized something to us, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, I recall you over the years. So, because I recognized your voice. So tell me something. You never seemed like you needed to be in a psych ward. What happened?
I had $15.5 million worth of operations and visits to the ER since October.
Wait, 15 million in debt?
No, 1.5 million.
Oh, in debt.
Right.
Okay, why? What were the emergency room visits for, David?
I have colitis. I had 2 feet of colon, or 1.5 feet colon actually removed.
Yeah, you and your wife both have health challenges, but what I want to know is this. You had 1.5 million in visits, and what is the problem? How did you end up there? What's going on?
Because I chose to get back on my meds and get regulated.
What kind of, are you bipolar?
Bipolar 2.
What does that mean?
Severely bipolar.
You know, I never knew that. Were you bipolar back over these years?
No, I was taking my medicine when I was selling, and I was at the top of my game, and I was number one.
Okay, so you stopped taking your meds?
I stopped taking them to pay my mortgage.
Okay.
It's either pay mortgage or take my meds, and I wanted to get back on
my
meds. Well,
you didn't have insurance, David?
I had a letter of approval to get my operation on my shoulder for to get all the loose cartilage out, so I could build up strength. And I went downhill from there.
Okay, so right now then, I hear that you did not pay your mortgage. I mean, excuse me, you did not take your meds. So did you have some episodes?
I went bipolar when I got beat up by a gang of blacks.
Okay, why did you get beat up?
I was I was a quarter mile from my house.
Yes.
Walking with all meds in one suitcase and my suits in another suitcase.
Why did you have 2 suitcases packed?
One held my suits.
But why? Where were you going? Where were you going?
Home.
But why were you carrying suitcases?
I took light rail to the county line station, crossed the road.
Yeah, but
and I
David, what I'm asking you is, people go to and from home by light rail or other means every day. Why on this particular day did you have 2 suitcases, one with meds and one with suits? Why?
Because I was going to deposit a $17,500 check into my bank account.
But why were you carrying 2 suitcases? That's all. David, I know you over the years. That's a very simple question. Why were you packed? Were you coming back? Were you coming back from a vacation?
I wanted to tabulate all the stuff all the money I spent. One pill alone, Xarelto, is $150.
I understand, David. I'm asking, you were walking down the street with 2 suitcases. What happened?
I'm filing bankruptcy.
Okay, so
reorganization.
But how did you get beat up?
They forced me into the golf course in the middle of the golf course and beat me up.
And they took your suitcases?
I had a seizure.
Did they take your suitcases?
They took the red one. I was locked inside my house, and they didn't have access to it other than breaking the door, and that would have, the police would have arrived.
So they beat you up, and you had a seizure, and then what? Because I know I'm not going to get details.
My wallet.
Okay, and what else?
And my driver's license.
Okay.
So they know where I live.
So how did you end up in jail? Not jail, I'm sorry, the psych ward.
I was disoriented. I didn't know where I was.
And what happened?
So I asked for a cup of water at the Shell station at the corner of Havana and Dry Creek. The guy wanted me to buy it. They took all credit cards, all my money. I was penniless.
Okay. David,
and
did someone call police?
Someone bought 2 bottles of water, cold water, He's the guy that stocks Pepperidge Farm and all the stores.
David, I don't, you're giving me detail where I don't want it. Where I do want it, you don't have detail. So let's get to this part. Did someone call police?
Yes.
Okay. And police...
He said I was loitering in front of his store.
Okay. So police brought you to the station, or did they bring you to the psych ward?
They brought me home.
And then what? How did you end up in the psych ward?
I slept during my manic phase.
Mm-hmm.
I put a down payment on 9,000 acres with water rights.
Okay. This was during your manic phase.
Yes.
Okay.
But I offered $750 cash and let people live out their lives on the working ranch.
Okay, I don't care about that part. What happened then? I mean, I just care about...
And I bought a $25,000 Chevy or a Cadillac convertible.
But you have no money. How did you buy that stuff?
It's tied to my nonprofit organization that I'm on the board of.
David, you know what? This is way too much for me right now. I can't go through the whole story. I just need to know what did you call for? What help do you need? What do you want?
Okay, I need to be measured. I need to give USAA the claim number, which I need to.
For what? For what?
For the theft and the beating up. And they will issue me a check for $20,000 to replace all the suits that I had custom made for me. And
okay. So what are you going to do with the money?
I have an appointment to see my psychiatrist.
Are you back on your meds now?
I'm back on my meds.
How long have you been on them?
For 2 days. No, since Monday, and I woke up today. I've been asleep. They wake me up, give me my meds, I go back to sleep.
Right. Where's your wife?
Namaste Home Health.
So is she in a...
They're cooking for her.
Is she in assisted living?
She can't be left alone.
All right, but is she in assisted living?
No, she's in a private condo that you have to be buzzed in.
But does she own the condo, or...
She owns the condo.
Is your wife, are you guys divorced?
We're together.
Okay. So you're still together, and how do you afford this condo?
I put half down on a $400,000 condo, and the appraisal came in at $750, so we have equity.
Good. Do you have money?
I have in my bank account, I have $5,170.
That's all you have?
In my savings.
How much do you have total? How much cash? Saved up altogether. How much do you have?
I have $30,000 paid off.
How much do you have in cash?
Cash?
Just not cash, just total money. How much do you have, David? I'm trying to help you.
$50,000.
How much?
Cash, gold.
Everything. How much do you have? How much are you worth? How much?
Cash,
did you say 50 or 60?
50.
Okay, you have 50,000. You have a condo with a lot of equity. You put half down, so you're not doing terribly right now. Okay.
No.
Now, when you said the mortgage, you're not behind on any mortgage or anything, right?
Our house goes to sale the 1st of August.
Which house are you talking about? Not the condo you're in.
The condo we're in.
The house.
Yes.
So let it go. Who cares?
My wife wants to stay there because that's where she wants to die.
Well, it's too late now. You
it's
own.
In her name.
You own the condo, right?
I don't own the condo. It's in her name.
Okay, but can you live there with her?
I live there with her.
Okay. Why do you care about the house right now?
Because it's a 2-bedroom condo.
David, you're not in a position to own the condo and the house. You got to look at things realistically. If it goes to sale in 2 days, how do you hope to stop that?
Reorganizing the debt and paying off the debt.
It's a bad move, David. There's no reason. At this stage in your life, both of you are disabled. It's silly to have a house when you have the condo half paid for and you guys can live there. I don't know why you're going through all of these conniptions to try to get this out of foreclosure, because you don't have any income to speak of, do you?
Well, it's all.
I got to take a break. I got to take a break. He got disconnected by mistake, sir, but I do have to take this break. I feel bad for this guy, but unfortunately, when people are in a manic situation, it's almost impossible because they won't take any advice at all. I've known this guy for years. I wish I could help him. By the way, there's other people I wish I could help, and that has to do with rehabilitation. I've been talking about the Raleigh House over the last few days. They are a sponsor. This is a paid ad. I tell you that because it is a commercial, but I wouldn't do it if I hadn't gone out there to meet with these people and if I did not know them. And I can recommend them. If you have an addiction, alcohol, cocaine, heroin, ecstasy, LSD, meth, painkillers, oh my God, so many people are affected. This is a program, a 90-day program. I urge you to call if you have a loved one who's an addict. They can go over everything with you as well as what insurance covers and how to talk to your addict or how to get them in there. Just give them a call if you're at wit's end. If you are an addict and you want help, please call the Raleigh House, 720-891-4657. They're located in multiple locations in Denver, 720-891-4657, and it's theraleighouse.com.
A worldwide phenomena is back.
What is this? Are you taking calls from Fremont County today? Why are they under the impression?
Oh, that's just from people who are experienced corruption. Remember we said we want to hear from people?
This person thinks we were just going to talk about that, I guess.
Man, this David sounds totally different than he did. I mean, he's like totally wiped out.
Who's that? Oh, the guy.
I feel bad.
Hey, it's Brian with Advanced Mudjacking. Homes and businesses in the Denver area all experience sinking concrete. Sidewalks, patios, porches, and interior floors do sink. We have the solution. At Advanced Mudjacking, we've been lifting and stabilizing concrete for over 25 years. We use traditional mudjacking techniques.
Is everything going well, Brian?
No chemicals,
Yeah.
no toxic. Our proven
Good.
works.
It's a little slow at the beginning of the year, and there's the usual inventory problem. You know, there's just not a lot out there. Monday's a counseling session at our office for all the buyers. They just, you know, it's a tough deal for them.
Hey Tom, on the Raleigh House, you said 891. It's 893.
The Raleigh House has my phone number. We have a very special tracking number.
Really?
And don't use anyone but our number.
Okay, so
you use the
so
one
then
I
it's
gave.
wrong. We got it wrong.
That's
on,
right.
The site.
Yeah, you use mine.
We just changed it the other day.
Right.
It's 720-893-5559.
You just said 891.
You said it wrong. Then I have to say it right. Okay. Oh no, I know what I did. I went to their goddamn website.
Yeah.
Damn it! I went to their website. You're right. You're right. I said 891.
Okay.
Doggone it! I won't get. Well, they'll know. I mean, I'm just gonna tell them I gave out both numbers.
The only part where it sucks is when they literally at the end of the month pull up numbers.
Precisely where it's needed to help your pain, not blind injections, because studies prove doctors can miss the joint up to 30% of the time without digital imaging. This osteo relief method doesn't involve surgery.
So it's still not perfect, Mark. Yeah, I mean, but it's like it was. So it was that piece that was. You see, it's just like it's been.
Yeah, so I was playing chauffeur, Tom. My wife's out of town, so running kids all over.
So I end up.
What's that?
So I'm playing chauffeur. My wife's out of town for a girls' trip, and you know, so of course the nanny's supposed to get someone somewhere, and I can't get there. We're tied up here. I'm like, okay.
Call me.
Sure. Hey, you know what, Brittany? I'll go ahead and go pick them up.
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure.
No problem.
Helping people for years. Saturday morning, 7 o'clock. Talk Radio 630 KHOW. Be there. We'll help you. Are you a U.S. veteran?
My wife calls it Disneyland Dad when she's out of town. I let the kids, everyone gets to pick one night where we're going for dinner. And,
that's pretty
cool.
cool.
There's no cooking when Mom's out of town. We're good.
That's good.
We'll just go out.
Yeah. Hey, Mom, can you go for another weekend?
Right. But If Brady gets one night to pick, Reagan gets another night to pick, Avery gets the other night to pick.
Pay off some of your existing debt, so you can save hundreds of dollars a month in interest. And of course, your mortgage interest is also tax deductible. Whether or not you've previously used this benefit, you still have access to the VA home loan program. VA loans have no down payment, no mortgage insurance, and relaxed credit requirements. American Finance.
Did the guy say anything back and then after we changed that part off? That was good.
Qualification process only takes
The balance.
I didn't hear that. Oh, yeah, the caller, or the, the listener, I should say.
303-695-7000.
Steph, how's it been going?
American Finance.
Awesome.
NMLS 12334 regulated by the Division of Real Estate.
Why are so many people raving about Champion windows and home exteriors? Find out.
I don't know if you know that I had to take a trip to Pennsylvania.
Why?
My grandfather died.
Oh, that's
So I was there.
being close to
When I was
You were in, I remember this, you're up in,
Colton in Philadelphia and all that.
oh, I thought Steeler territory, Pittsburgh, no?
No, coal mining area. So
Yeah, okay.
Colton and Mount Carmel. But,
That's where you grew up, or just your grandfather?
We lived there when I was little. I grew up military, so
Yeah, I
I
know.
go over. However,
For some reason, I thought you lived in Pittsburgh. I don't know why. I'm thinking of someone else as well.
I lived in Jersey. We lived in Jersey.
Hear about it. Talk about it.
But while I was there, I had a buyer making big purchases, so it was a great distraction for me.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
How old was he?
77.
For these days.
Yeah. Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255.
Did you check your email? I just saw something.
What?
About your shirt.
Yeah, I saw.
Well, how come you didn't read that one?
Which one? I saw them all.
The one that didn't appear. It's Jill.
Well, hold on, I don't know if I have it. I don't know if I
Oh, keep reading.
I don't know if I have Jill. I don't have it here. I must have deleted it. Yeah. Okay. It doesn't matter. What does it say? Okay. Okay.
Agree with Mark
Uh-huh.
on. She goes, I've heard that you at least twice in the last few weeks wager on lunch with Mark and lose. I
Okay.
hate to be the bearer of bad
Well, I
news.
don't care if she says that. It never
And
happened. I
Del
don't care.
Frisco's was
never
mentioned.
happened. Never happened.
It wasn't
He did mention Del Frisco's 100 times, but I never said, yes, it's for lunch at Del Frisco's.
That's 12 lunches.
But here's the deal. Here's the deal. You find one, if she heard it, one instance on tape other than the one I agreed to, which is the one, if you find one instance, I promise you, where if it happened, I absolutely will turn that 1 into 10. Okay? If you find one instance other than that I actually bet lunch, you will absolutely get 10 lunches.
The problem is it's so hard to go back and dig through, but there's been so many bets,
Mark.
I'll probably wander
You
across.
always say that. I'll bet you lunch. You always say it, but without acknowledgement, that doesn't mean
No,
just because...
sometimes you nod, and the nod is just as good.
I do not, Mark. I have never done that. When I bet somebody, I said, okay, now, this is for lunch, and we shook on it, and we don't even have to shake, but I make it very clear, and I don't even want to go there. Jason, what's going on with you, Jason? What's happening?
Hi, Tom. How are you?
What's going on?
Last week, I went to Discount Tires to get a nail in my tire fixed. They pulled out a nail and they fixed the hole. But then they also told me that they pulled out a staple and they didn't fix the hole because he didn't think it went through. Well, I did that at Southlands. I made it as far as Discount Tire, like on County Line over by Park Meadows, and my tire was flat again. And so I went to that Discount Tire, and he took my tire off, looked at it, and said that they couldn't fix it because I can't have more than 3 patches in one tire. But I don't have more than 3 patches in that
Mark,
one tire.
you're the tire guy. I mean,
But they pulled out the nail and made my tire
So,
go
I mean,
flat.
they didn't put any of the stuff in the tire. What do you want? from
Right.
them?
What did they didn't do anything. What did they do wrong, Jason?
They pulled out the nail and didn't patch it because he didn't think it went all the way through.
I've never heard of that. What does that mean, not going all the way through, Mark? What does that mean?
Well, like it's just in the tread and doesn't actually poke a hole in it.
Okay, so by not patching it, what did he do wrong?
Turn that radio down, man.
Are you talking to me?
Yeah, or your Bluetooth or something. It's feeding back. So that's good. So what did he do? By not putting the patch on that, what did he do wrong? How did it hurt you?
It made my tire go flat.
Okay.
Before my tire was going flat, but it would
okay,
go flat.
so
it just, I guess I don't get it. You need to buy a new tire.
So it made your tire go flat, but your tire, he did not put the nail in your tire.
No, but he took it out and didn't patch it.
Okay.
Because he didn't.
So how did it harm you? The tire went flat and you had to get it fixed, right?
I had a nail in it. I took it in to get
listen,
it
don't,
nailed.
Jason, don't repeat. Okay, you don't get to tell the whole story again. I heard the story. Okay, I want to know what. Mark, I don't understand.
I think he, for some reason, thinks they owe him a tire, which I can't figure out. I don't understand how he makes this leap.
I think, okay, the guy had a chance to fix it and did not. That meant it went flat. Did that cost Jason money because he had to be towed? Or that's what I'm trying to get at, Jason.
I did have to be towed.
Okay.
Well, I had to have a tow company come help me change it because I didn't have a jack.
Okay.
But I have my spare on. I just want to get my tire fixed.
Okay. So
and I have a warranty through Discount Tire that they would fix the tire. It is a new tire.
Okay, so will they fix it, Jason?
It's not brand new, but it's one of my new. It's a new tire that I just bought.
So if you bought their road hazard, why won't they fix it?
Right.
Because he says they cannot fix more than 3.
Then why aren't they replacing it? Did you buy the road hazard?
I did.
Okay, well then they should replace it.
And they say they can't fix more than 3. Did you have 3 patches before?
No, that's the whole thing. I've only taken that tire in one time to get fixed.
So how are they counting? How are they count? The real issue isn't whether or not he patched that one thing. The real issue is this: you have a warranty they're not honoring because they claim you used it more than 3 times. Right?
I get. That's what the guy at the store.
If you have the road hazard.
I'll call over there.
Right.
There's something. They're very good at this.
I understand that.
If it's a new tire and it needs to be replaced, they give you a new tire.
I had a problem with it.
All right, hold on. Basically, it comes down to that, Mark. If he has a warranty, they have to honor it unless there is a disclaimer about having 3 patches, and they can't do more than 3 in any one tire. If that is on there, but then they have to prove they did 3 for him. He said they never did 3. So it's a very simple problem. That part about them pulling the nail out has nothing to do with it. Just nothing to do with it at all. We have more coming up.
So it's showing citywide.
Just put it in a messenger.
But you're right. I mean,
All right, so listen, I am writing on our thing right now, as of 11:45 a.m., 7/20/2017, 12 lunches.
Look out for that crash westbound.
Okay.
Mark, I'm just writing you something because I really don't want to talk about it right now.
Crash left shoulder, westbound I-70 in Central Park. Northbound I-25 being cleared down.
Oh, perfect, Frank. Oh, what was it?
Well, I just talked to Tyler, that's why I was out in the hallway so long. Apparently there's a problem with the vesting deed. They're trying to find out what's going on with it. But right now what I'm seeing here is just a deed of trust to citywide banks. But they're saying there might be a vesting problem. They're trying to check into it and see what the problem is.
What does that mean, a vesting problem?
Like who the title vests in.
I don't care about that. I care about this first second.
Okay, so there you go. It's got,
okay,
citywide banks, it's first deed of trust, payable to first deed of trust.
And that was the one American did.
Yeah, 333-743.
And they don't have any second. That's all.
No second.
Okay.
No.
All right. No. So this title
and I just emailed
not
it to
even part of this.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Yeah.
So what's that mean? Is it a signature law?
No. It means he has a first deed of trust.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm thinking of a different call.
But they can still file a second.
Yeah.
No second.
Yeah, no second.
There you go.
Okay. Is that familiar?
What What's the address, Frank?
It is 26052 East
052
Geddes, Geddes Circle.
So wait, so you don't see the lien filed from American Finance?
Mm-mm. No, all it's showing.
I wonder how recently he closed on American Finance.
The only other thing I see is a quick lien back in 2009.
Right.
That's it. Yeah. Flat Western Crystals.
Hey, Stephanie, you want to look at a banner? Because you gave 3 of them, and this is how I put it together.
Oh, come on,
Yeah,
where's the dialer?
that's fine. I just gave you what I had on my desktop.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. Very good.
Jason's the caller, right?
Yes. Discount tire.
Doesn't discount tire fix slots?
Hey, Rob, I'm trying to figure out why. Let me give you your customer's name. His name is Jason Carrera, Carrera.
Yeah.
But I guess he bought Road Hazard, and you guys are saying you're not
No,
replacing
no,
the tire. I'm just trying to understand why.
Yeah.
Doesn't discount fix slots.
I think so.
Mark, do they fix flats? Okay,
I think I found there.
then why wouldn't they fix his?
Finance.
I don't understand.
That'd be great.
Oh, you're not here, it's right.
You got it?
Yeah.
So what does that tell us, that there's no,
So, it's got a number of meanings.
Filed
One,
against it. There's
it
nothing.
could be a door.
Well, so what does it
Two,
tell us?
it could be someone looking out a window.
Just basically, there's just that
We
first
went
lien.
through,
That's
like,
it.
when we
That's it.
relabeled this,
All my experts.
when I first got
The
the
tunnel's
money,
digging a little further right now, so they're going to be back. They're digging on it.
And what did they mean by
they laid on the website.
They just want to confirm it's really.
That's all it is,
that
you know,
person.
and then the other thing is that, hey, you know, some people can operate inside the box, we operate inside the rectangle, which is different than a box. There's like 20 different theories that our marketing team threw out on the whole thing, so.
Nobody cares.
But if the door, the knob's in the wrong.
Right,
Really, they're
right,
trying to be
because
thorough.
we'll work with
But that's why I
the
want
abnormal
to know.
Okay.
Oh yeah, there's stuff. It was. I wish we would have had somebody video these meetings with our management team and the marketing group, because oh, it's hilarious. Like they went nuts about it. It was funny.
You'll always do initial consultations complimentary. 303.
I just want to like many things as far as what people get from different things.
Right.
They don't want to feel like they're, okay, fair,
Or
fair.
the one that we had before was like a
I guess, no worries.
like a yin and yang kind of like surfboard logo. I was like,
I'll do it.
where do you
I will do it.
like, what is this? Like, what?
It just looks cool.
Right. That's exactly what. So one of our original partners,
Yes, that's good. I'll
no longer is part of the business. He was the one who designed it. I'm like,
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Okay, so I want to talk about mortgages, Brent. Right now, are mortgage applications up or down or even compared to, let's say, a year ago?
You know, they're down from compared to a year ago.
Why?
So, I think that's a component of
Demand?
rates. You know, rates, demand. We saw rates start to really get aggressive as we got into late summer, early fall last year. You know, we saw 30-year fixed rates in the mid-3s, even in the low 3s. We saw rates bump back up.
What are they now?
They're at 3.875. So they pushed 4. They went into the 3s, and then they pushed 4,
All right.
and now they're back at 3.875
Now,
again.
what is the ratio, do you think, purchase money or refinancing?
You know, it varies, I think, from company to company.
Right now.
We're seeing right now inside our organization, we're running almost half and half.
Yeah.
So
that tells you something. It tells me something. Now, as far as rates, do you think they're going? I know we don't know, but
Right.
what do you think?
You know, I think based on the fact that the Trump administration has not gotten nearly as much done as they had hoped, and there hasn't been all this economic traction, I think we're going to see rates stay at this level through the end of the year. Now, if they start to get some of this legislation passed, if they start to get some traction, and if we start to see the economy really take off, then you are going to have pressure on rates to go higher for sure.
This is not a statement of politics. It's a statement of what is it? Mode of operation or style. Trump will not get anything done because people don't like him. Even his own party, they don't like him, and he doesn't know how. Has nothing to do with politics.
Sure.
It's just I don't think he's going to get much done. I think we're going to get into a recession, and I really mean this. Now, Frank, how's demand on houses right now?
Demand is high.
Exceeding supply.
There is not a lot of inventory. We have less inventory this month, than we had even last year at this time.
Well, okay. Now, Stephanie, the same thing in the springs, right? Or not as bad?
Yeah, we're still seeing a hot market.
Okay, now, here's the bottom line. Unemployment cannot get lower because there's no such thing in history of zero. It's the lowest of history. It's the lowest. It may have dipped down one other time, but always when unemployment is low and interest rates are low and the stock market is high, these are all counterintuitive. It does signal a recession. And I'm telling you, I don't want this to happen. But I promise you, when it happens, I want you to remember, because I've been saying it now. Here's what's going to happen. People are competing for employees at 4%. It is difficult. Every guy every person I talk to, they can grow their business or make more money if they could find more people. Employees are now shopping companies, getting bonuses, getting more benefits, and they're more expensive because they're more in demand. If you get someone who thinks straight, can do things, and you will pay them, you got to pay them. Here's what happens. It's just going to happen a little. Prices of products and things are going to go up just a little. And then what's going to happen is then workers are going to ask for even a little more. And when that spiral happens, you will have momentary pausing when it comes to buying things, because prices will get to a point where it's just a little slower. Then, because they were paying top dollar for employees, the last people hired will be either laid off or they're going to be offered less. And then you're going to have people saying, you know what, I just want to hold off on that car purchase. I'm not sure where my job's going. And then that's a little ripple effect, because you have people doing it all over the country, just like when people get up to go to the bathroom halftime at the Super Bowl. When everyone does something, it causes a major effect. Then what happens is production will slow down a little. And now you're going to have unemployment ticking up. That unemployment ticking up will affect the stock market. People will look at that as a negative sign, and the stock market will start tanking. When the stock market starts tanking, interest rates are already low, cannot go lower, so it's not going to react like it normally does to keep the economy going. And what you're going to have is a full-scale recession, and partly because the amount of money we're paying right now is astronomical. And it's got to break when it comes to real estate. We are overpaying for real estate. It's going to happen within 2 years, 3 years max.
But Tom,
When you think about home loans...
Absolutely, Tom, I agree. I will say this, though. Buyers have more skin in the game now. We're not in a position where they were walking away from nothing anymore.
Well, I'm not saying that. I'm
saying we will see what you're saying. I agree. But I don't think it'll be as catastrophic as what we saw back in 08.
Did you see the Harvard housing study that came out last week?
No.
An overwhelming majority of homeowners in America budgetarily cannot afford the home they live in right now.
Wow. Really? Now, you add to this. Wait, I still got more.
And then here's the other part. Wage growth.
So we'll see it.
Is relatively flat in this country since wage growth is almost relatively flat. I mean, and that's the problem, is that you can't have things becoming more expensive with people not making more money.
Yeah.
I mean, we look at that. I agree. I mean, we look at the same type of markers and follow the same type of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I look at what's going on in this real estate market. Mm-hmm. We bought our house in Highlands Ranch Golf Club in 2002, I think, for $480,000. It's worth $820,000. I told my wife we should sell this thing and go rent something, because this is absolutely insane.
You will never, ever. And here's how I know I paid too much. Here's how much, not me right now, but how much I would know I'm paying too much, is when I look at the house I'm in and I wouldn't pay what they say it's worth.
Yeah, exactly.
For my own house.
Right. And that's kind of what, and I think the problem, what's happened here is we've gotten into an artificial rise because of pot industry, all the other things. You have big business moving here, tech companies, but it's just getting to the point where it's
Discount's calling that guy back.
Tyler
See what
Sheeta,
happens.
one of our marketing gals.
Yeah.
What a stupid.
She wants to buy a townhome, right, or a condo.
I
She goes,
don't
finds a
understand.
place at 44
I have never heard
either. Puts an offer in on it.
I have a feeling
It's
they're either going to take care of it or,
1,200 square foot house.
There's another story.
And I told her,
or it's below. Oh, no, for example, if it's below 30 seconds, they don't replace.
There's no started going down the path and wasn't sleeping at night. And was
Hey, road hazard Goodyear's was 4, right?
Oh, okay.
That's the problem.
I know Costco won't swap tires if it's less than 230 seconds.
Oh yeah, most people won't even touch the 230 second tire. They won't repair it. They won't do anything. Because technically it's more rights to the wear bar,
That is
which
similar
means
to what you
replacement.
see in Southern California.
Discount.
We have one major problem. We don't have an ocean.
Right.
You know,
Right.
I think we have
Mileage,
mountains,
too,
but
huh?
it's just, I think it's just overblown. Now,
Okay, so there's
it
this
may not be
330
bad,
second.
and I tend to agree with that too, just based on the fact that
It's a normal.
it's still a very desirable place to live.
But they'll replace it, but they're also charging,
If there's under 330 seconds,
for infrastructure.
they won't touch it.
Nothing.
It's got to be even wear. So I mean, if you have an alignment problem, it's more.
And there's nowhere
I mean,
else
it's
to
the same
go.
shit I
Your
saw.
only
There's no
option
fucking
next is
difference.
to double
Mine was
record the
430
thing.
seconds.
You know, one of my partners.
Actually, mine was
You're hard on.
830. No, 830 seconds. Goodyear's was 830 seconds free replacement.
Going on.
And then it would be prorated. But then they can buy something else.
My other eye's getting so, my left eye's getting so bad, I can't.
When are you getting it done?
When you get back.
It doesn't make sense. You go, we're going to hold, we're going to wait. And I think you're going to start seeing more and more builders do that too, that they're going to start to look at the cost to manufacture the house versus what they can
You may
sell
want to
for.
consider it.
It's getting
Think
compressed
about that.
construction costs.
That I would do if they would trade me.
If they're going to
Hold
start
on.
going,
Let me work on that.
Yeah, that I would do. I'd do it
we're going
instantly.
to get stuck.
Here's
Well,
what I
some
would
places
suggest.
can out.
What do they get for it? About 5 an eye, roughly?
And I mean, at the rate we're going.
I wonder if I should wait though, because of the technology.
No, that's really, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I can't say. But here's the deal. I mean, because I would have said, you know, when you had it, what, 8 gig of, not 8 gig, when you had 4K of RAM, you had the most max computer in the world. I remember that. 4K up to 200.
I remember it.
And it was about $3,000.
So listen,
you guys have lost.
I think we should do something digital. Okay, now listen. On my own, I'll fund it. Hell, I'm getting value right here. Then, see what return you get. And so where they have to say it's from us, but they have to send a troubleshooter. And then approach
And I do appreciate you being
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter. Welcome to the show. The only show of its kind anywhere in the universe where we are fighting for you, helping you, getting directly involved in your life. We have so many cases being juggled right now. Our guest today, Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. We have Frank Duran, the real estate man, with RE/MAX Alliance, and then we have Stephanie Thomas from the Springs RE/MAX Millennium, and we've been talking about you know, everything, finance, real estate. I think we have a real estate bubble. I don't want to repeat what I said going in, but the last hour, the last part of the last hour, if you listen to the podcast, why I believe we're definitely in for a recession. You can agree or disagree with me. I'd love you to. And of all the funny lunch bets we have, this is one I would bet lunch. And I hope I'm wrong, though, that within 3 years we're going to be in a recession. How's that? As declared by who would have to declare that? Who would have to declare that? Who declares we're in a recession?
It's the numbers. It
Okay.
depends on where the numbers move.
GDP.
Now,
Yeah.
here's the deal. We talked about the unemployment rate is the big thing. When employees start getting more expensive, and then that forces us to charge more for stuff, which then causes tiny pauses in consumer spending, which then has a ripple effect, which strikes fear in the stock market. Unemployment rates go up a little because people are let go or production is slowed down. Okay, enough. You can listen to it. Now, we also have another bubble, the real estate bubble. In addition to all of that, people look at what they're spending for a home. Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans, you brought up a study that talked about budgets and homes. What did it say?
Yeah, there's a Harvard study that was just released recently that said that an overwhelming majority of current homeowners, based on qualifying, cannot afford the home that they're in, or they are stretching themselves significantly to pay for the home that they're in.
That is scary.
It is. I would
Okay,
agree.
now let's take the student loan bubble. That is so scary. What's going to happen? You can't manufacture money. There's not enough money to pay it off.
No, and Fannie Mae recently came out with a mandate where they said they will allow you to refinance your student loan debt into your home and exceed their typical loan-to-value requirements. The challenge we run into when someone calls us is, why would you give up your student loan rate of 2% sometimes, 3%, to go into a mortgage of 3.75?
Because you can go bankrupt.
Well, yes, but
unless they say the part that you refi you can't go bankrupt on, I don't know how they would do that.
Yeah.
But if people could go bankrupt on student loans, do you know how many would do it?
Oh, tons.
I mean, people can't pay student loans, and they get such stupid degrees they could never make a living. I don't understand it.
Well, I even look at, we have physician clients who call us, and I look at their student loan debt load when they come out of school and start practicing. It is astronomical.
It can be $700,000.
Oh, typically it is.
Oh, for a doctor, of course.
All day long, but you got to understand that their entry-level job is
a
couple $100,000.
Hold it. Car loans, though. Listen to this one here. Auto loans topped $1 trillion for the first time ever. Auto loan delinquencies are now the fastest rising than any other loan category.
I'm telling you, if you don't see we're in a recession, so what am I saying? What do we do about it? Don't overpay.
You get ready for everything to crash and have cash on hand and buy like Trump did in 08 and 09 and make $5 billion. That's what you do.
And you don't you don't overpay for your real estate. That's the biggest deal. And I don't know how you not overpay, because if you're going to go out there and win, you're going to have to overpay.
You know it, and I know it. The trick is to have cash when everything crashes.
Frank or Tiffany, are there still deals? Are there still deals? Or Stephanie, I'm sorry, not Tiffany. Stephanie, are there still deals? Frank, are there still deals? Really? I mean, I don't know how there can be.
There's slimmer pickings. Now, Tom, I have 2 short sales I'm working right now where the BPO came in at $193. The buyer came in at $200,000.
What's a BPO?
Broker price opinion. That's where the bank sent
not an appraisal, but an opinion.
Right.
At how much?
$193,000.
And what are they selling for?
And we sold it for $200,000. So there are slim pickings out there. There's just not like there was, 5-6 years ago.
That's not a deal. You went over the BPO.
Well, I understand, but it's within a certain range of the BPO.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about you?
I had a HUD deal here recently where our BPO as is came in significantly under the contract purchase price, and my clients actually had to walk away because HUD said sorry. About $25,000 different.
And they wouldn't do it. HUD would
No,
not do it.
Absolutely not.
They're just going to keep it.
They let us swap.
What were you saying, Suzanne?
Line 3 has a good question.
All right, Craig, what's going on with you? Hello, Craig. Welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, sir. Hey, question, the dreaded HOA question. So I just went under contract on my home. I'm getting they are going FHA, so I have a home inspection on Saturday. So my question is, I have back payment of, like I think my wife said, $1,200 to the HOA. Now, I think I might have my answer to my own question, but I just wanted to ask you. But do I just let that go once we're said and done and closed and not pay them? I mean, we don't have any amenities. It's like,
well, Brent, you're the expert here.
Well, they're going to collect that past due amount at closing. That'll
You don't have a choice.
That'll happen. You don't have a choice.
They're going to snag it right out of the title, right? Or right during
out of the proceeds and during the closing.
We did a title search for any.
Who are you buying from?
I'm not buying any. I'm not buying
selling.
anything.
I mean, excuse me. Why are you so back?
Because it's been on the market, so we just haven't paid.
Okay.
My wife lost her job.
Okay, it'll come out of proceeds. I'm surprised they didn't try to foreclose themselves with house values.
That's what they were trying to do, and not a super lien or anything like that. So I know my realtor, they did all their work, and so any lien or anything like that, that's been taken care of. So, and that was my, I guess that was, I have the answer to my question is, it's going to come out of the proceeds.
You're not going to get around it, Craig.
No.
Never.
And I don't want a judgment, It's like,
well, you don't have a choice. It won't even go through unless it's paid right at the table. So you don't even have a choice. You won't get a judgment because it'll be paid. So how much did it amount to with penalties and stuff?
It's like $1,200.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's not bad.
We've been making, no, it's not. But we've been making payments. It's.
How much money are you going to make on your house?
I heard the conversation earlier. So we listed, it's a townhome. We listed at 175. 40. The lady put down $40,000 down, 5,000 earnest money, and so we came in at 225. But
how much did you make on it?
We'll make. Probably it was only 114,000
on your loan.
Rock and roll, baby.
Good.
Yeah. So I mean, we're coming.
Are you going to buy? Are you going to buy another house?
Yes and no. I want to move to Texas. My brother's a builder out there.
Hey, remember, if you don't, you're going to pay capital gains on that. The good stuff.
Yes, I know. So, and he's a home builder out there, but my wife doesn't like the heat and
yeah. Well,
like the cold.
I wish the best to you. You know, you're going to have a lot of choices if you wanted to wait. A lot of people are selling their homes now and waiting because they do believe a recession is coming. Jerry, you waited a while. I'm sorry about that, but we had so many calls. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yes.
What's going on, Jerry?
Well, I tell you, I hired Compass Home Improvement Remodeling to extend my kitchen, and Chuck Horn is the owner, and I gave him a $10,000 check March 31st.
Okay, you gave him a check. Why?
His crew had actually finished a sunroom for me last year, and they did a good job, but then after I signed the contract, his crew either quit or were fired because he wasn't paying them.
So you paid him $10,000 in March, or at the end of March. How did you find this guy? You knew him from before?
I knew him from before.
And how'd you find him before?
Through a coworker whose husband recommended him.
So did he do any work for the $10,000? What was he supposed to do for the $10,000?
He was supposed to punch out my kitchen wall and extend my kitchen.
So he was going to enlarge and improve the kitchen, right? So how much was the total job?
The total job was about $20,000.
Okay. Did he do anything?
He put in about 3/4 of my floor joists at the kitchen door. So now I have to jump out my kitchen door and land between the floor joists.
Has he stopped coming altogether?
95 days later, I finally got tired of trying to get him to work, and
95?
I terminated his contract, yeah.
Okay, so did you get $10,000 worth of work?
I got maybe $2,000 worth.
How many times, Mark? What does this make now? What does this make? A million times we've heard it? No, seriously.
Every day.
I mean, every day. I mean, so, God, I mean, that's because you put him in the driver's seat when you paid him $10,000. I don't know why people don't listen to me about how to make down payments and about when to make down payments or about So Jerry, you're going to have to sue him. You're going to have to sue him, literally sue him.
Well, I
so
have
you can
gotten
sue
an
him.
attorney.
You can.
I have gotten one, and but he.
I don't know if you have to
respond to them.
Okay, you don't hire an attorney for this. I mean, you can hire an attorney, but it's not. I don't think $10,000's enough.
You got to get them served.
You can go $7,500 for small claims court,
and then not pay an attorney.
Yeah, and then
right, and I have those documents. And I filled them out last night.
Because here's the deal: if you got a few grand in work. And you got, then $7,500 is right there. Do an itemization. Say, look, Judge, you know, I might be owed a little more, but I'll settle for $7,500. The guy probably won't even show. And when the attorney says he doesn't respond, the attorney can't help that, of course. The guy's not going to respond. He's probably a bum. What you have to do is go after him. Now, what's the name of this guy?
His name is Chuck Horn.
Chuck Horn. And what's the name of his company?
Compass Home Improvement.
You said that right. Compass, right. Home Improvements. So, is he working anywhere?
If he's working, I don't know about it.
And where is he from? Where is he out of? Denver, Aurora, where?
He's in Colorado Springs.
Yep. A big majority of these lying, cheating ripoffs are in the Springs.
We can get them served up there, too. Hey, speaking of bad contractors, Stacy, who I went out and served Gregory Martinez for, I'm going to bring her up. She just stopped in to get the service work, so I'm going to bring her up.
Good. We'll talk about that. So listen, what do we do now? You made out the paperwork. Let's work on getting him served, okay? We got people that might be able to do that, and let's get the jerk served. Do you know where he lives? Do you know where his office is?
Well, yes, he's got an address on his letterhead here.
Okay, what's his address?
His address is 5832 Instone, Instone Circle in Colorado Springs.
Okay, so listen. What we'll do is put this down. Hold on. Hang on, and let's see what we can do as far as helping you. I don't know. Mark, let Suzanne take this. We'll see who in Colorado Springs can serve this clown. And that you just got to take your shot. We have so many people to go after, so many that we're beside ourselves. And they're getting away with it because DAs won't do anything. They just won't do anything. They call it civil when it's not. It's a violation of the Contractors Trust Act. So, Jerry, I would just take a shot, go to the DA's office and say, look, this is a clear-cut case of a breach of the Contractors Trust Act, and at least put in a complaint there. Man. 303-713-TALK. Pro Auto Care. If you want someone who you can depend on, Pro Auto Care. Now, you don't pay any money up front. You just go and you get your stuff done when it needs to be done, and he'll even remind you. Pro Auto Care is the kind of place that you dream about. They have the skill, they have the ethics, they're friendly, conveniently located in 2 locations, near Evans and I-25, near Bowles or Santa Fe. So in either part of town, give them a call or drop by. They do courtesy inspections with no charge. They do introductory oil changes for new customers with synthetic blend and filter and tire rotation for new customers. $14.95. You have to mention Martino. Think about that. You can't even buy this stuff for $14.95. So 303-PRO-AUTO is the phone number. The website's the same with a .com. 303-PRO-AUTO. That's 303-PRO-AUTO or 303-PROAuto.com.
This report is brought to you by Napa Auto Parts.
Big delays on I-70 in the heart of town. Eastbound I-70 at York. There was a crash involving a gravel truck which spilled a whole bunch of gravel on the road.
She's just going to tout about us, so how do you... Okay, anyway, we're not making it continue. Either way, whatever you want. Let's have her sit right here for a minute. Have her come in here. We're just going to use her for a few minutes.
You want her on the camera, right? So you're going to need to...
What's that?
Let me get a better camera.
No, I know what you mean. Okay, I just
actually, put her next to Steph over there.
Okay.
So you can still operate the camera.
Okay.
She's going to share a mic with Steph.
Okay.
Hey, Stacy.
So, the other thing that we look at too, we deal with a lot of wealth
We got about 10
management guys.
seconds. Say that again.
We deal with a lot of wealth management guys, and they, if you look, there's almost a recession about every 10 to 12 years.
Okay, hold up, live.
David Salisbury is an attorney you call when someone dies and you need to know what to do, but you should better call before and get planning done. You see, yes, if you have a sudden need and you need to open probate, you don't know what to do, a relative died or somebody, you don't even know who the personal representative is, David Salisbury will give you an initial consultation at no charge or no obligation. 720-493-3911. But it would be better if you call him for a simple will or a complicated will. Of course, it's up to your estate. You can even form a trust so things just go right through someone's passing without any probate whatsoever. They're private. Or you can do, of course, a beneficiary's deed. You can do joint bank accounts. He can tell you how to structure your estate with no complications. That's what planning is all about with David Salisbury. Wills, trusts, probates, or a sudden need when someone passes. And remember, always free consultations. 720-493-3911. 720-493-3911.
If you're over 50 and concerned about any of the following, stay tuned.
Just hit the one button. You don't have to hold it down. Just hit it. I'll give you volume for headphones right here. Okay. One of us walk down. Okay, thanks.
Today, we found a video. They also raised pit bulls.
Yeah, so they have dogs that live in the RV with them.
Oh, those dogs live in the RV?
Well, they showed up at our house in the RV, he said.
Well, I've seen their own vehicle.
And yeah, I saw a Facebook video of them with, I don't know, I didn't see them. But I saw that, I was like, those are pit bulls. Because I looked on his Facebook and looked at his video.
You're served. You're served.
Yeah, well, you know,
Who?
I was working with,
Hold on, guys, I gotta do another one.
1-800-361-18. 5 seconds. And call now.
1. It's amazing how small things can change your life. I seriously mean that when it comes to hearing devices, or hearing aids as we call them. If you have a hearing loss, you don't even notice it over time, but everyone else does. You don't even know what you're missing until you try some hearing aids. And the word try is key here, because Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center will let you try hearing aids, free test drives with no obligation. They even do that when it comes to tinnitus treatment. They have a new tinnitus treatment that is called Desincra, that is considered a permanent solution. Finally, make it go away. Make it go away forever. They have hearing aids that help mask tinnitus and retrain the brain. Now, this Desincra is great for a certain frequency range. If not, they have other devices. The important thing is they let you try them. So whether you have a hearing loss or tinnitus or both, I can think of no one better to recommend than Dr. Patty or Dr. Lisa at Colorado Tinnitus and Hearing Center, along with their whole team. 303-534-0163. There's no reason not to call today. Don't put it off any longer. Just make an appointment for an evaluation. 303-534-0163.
Sean Hannity.
Face the truth.
Today at 1.
You Republican.
I don't think they were in the, when we were there, I didn't hear any calls about that. Yeah, right.
They just happened to be at our place.
Did you let them out? Did they let them out?
He saw them. He saw them when they pulled up to our house. So.
He got stewed.
Yeah.
Did they clean up after him?
I don't think he said they stayed in the car.
Oh.
Hi, Tom Martino here. Welcome to the show. 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. And we have a follow-up on a case that came into the radio show. And you paid, how much did you pay, Mark? Introduce our guest, please.
Her name's Stacy, and she paid $2,500.
Now, Stacy, when you called, are you the one that you were kind of new to Colorado, you and your husband?
Yeah, we just moved here.
And I asked you, how did you find the guy? Did you hear about us? Referral? I remember that conversation. And then you talked about what he had done to your yard.
Yeah, correct.
What did he do to your yard? Get a little closer to the mic if you can.
Well, he was supposed to come and do a concrete patio for us.
Yes.
And basically he didn't come and do anything. All he did was the form work for it.
Yes.
And he took off then the rest.
That's it. Just took off.
Yeah, we have pictures of it, of course, up on Facebook.
Now,
and the form work wasn't even good. The guy that actually did the real job afterwards, Tom, had to tear down everything he did. It wasn't even level.
It's unbelievable. And so this was your baptism into Colorado, but so many people are having the same problem. The deal is Mark went out to find him, to serve him, because this guy he doesn't have an address because he lives in a motorhome.
Rolling turd.
Dogs live in there with him. Kids live in there with him. It's like, I'm telling you, it's unbelievable.
When he pulled up, Stacy, in that, to give you the estimate, my God,
He didn't pull up in that vehicle.
Oh, he didn't?
He pulled up in a different one. It was...
Another RV?
No, it was a van, but it was like one of those older vans with like the spare wheel.
I can only imagine. Like Chester the molester.
Now, Stacy is here to pick up return of service because Mark did a service, and he served the guy, and what you get in return is called a return of service that now Stacy can use to take him to court if he shows up. Do you think he'll show up?
I don't. I think he's going to be a no-show.
But you know what? I say you go all the way with this guy. This guy's a jerk. And in the entire conversation, which is live on Facebook right now, did you put it up on YouTube too?
No, I got to.
We got to put it up there. But you'll see this video of the confrontation. He never, ever, ever explained why he should keep her money. I don't. Why does this guy think he's entitled to the money?
I have no idea.
It's amazing to me the balls these guys have to take money and they don't do work. Jerry is here, and Jerry, you had the same thing, right? You paid the guy $10,000 and he just stopped showing up.
Right.
What did he say? Anything to you to justify it? What did he say?
Well, his crew either quit or were fired, so he shows up with his son who's on summer break, and they attempt to do the work. Then their tools weren't there because his ex-employees lost them or stole them. Then he shows up, and then his saw's not working because his ex-employee ruined it. So they spent maybe 6 to 8 hours in 95 days at my house trying to get this project
You know what, though? That says he was trying, though. So maybe the guy is not a rip-off complete. Maybe he's just incompetent.
I don't know. 95 days, 8 hours,
but before
$10,000.
No. He's a rip-off, but maybe he didn't intend to. I don't know. So, Jerry, you're going in the right direction. We have to get him served, though, marked down in the spring somewhere. And she has an address for him, so we can try 5832 Instone Circle. We'll try. Okay? So
she's got to get the paperwork to me.
Okay. Suzanne,
you got to file the case and then get me the paperwork.
Get her name and number and tell her what to do. Now, Stacy came to pick up her return of service because we helped her through this process, too. You know, there was a time when the contractors would at least attempt to pay back from us contacting them. Now they don't give a damn. I mean, these people don't care. You know, Greg Martinez doesn't care that he's live on the internet and on the radio and that people think he's a scumbag. He doesn't care because he'll still find other people to scam. He'll just do it. Have you heard about him doing it to anyone else in your neighborhood?
I have not.
Okay. Now, Stacy, just one thing. I have to mention this. I must mention this because it freaks me out. I see a wedding ring on your hand. I swear to God, if you told me you were 13 years old, I would believe it. No. Would you? If she
looks very young.
If she says no, 13. If she says I'm here with my father and mother, and have you been told that before? Do you get carded everywhere you go?
Yes, I do.
Everywhere. And you must get fingerprinted. I just can't believe. When you came in here, I'm thinking, oh, my goodness gracious, what is her daughter doing here? Anyway, thank you for being here, Stacy, and we're going to do what we can. So after you get a judgment, then the fun really begins. We may even try to take his motor home.
Well, yeah, that's what we want. Mobile studio.
But anyway, thank you. And so, Suzanne, can somebody show her how to get out? Do you know how to get out? So,
Daphne's in here. I'll send her down with her.
So Daphne will help you, Stacy. Thank you. 303-713-8255. So, guys, enough talk about recession and stuff, but we're talking about loans. Brent, he said more people have skin in the game. Frank Duran, the real estate man, said that. Is that true? I mean,
yeah, they definitely,
on average.
Yeah, I would agree with that completely.
They're not doing the 0 downs and the 125% loans.
The guidelines have tightened up significantly. The down payment requirements have changed. There's no more of the no money down, 100% financing. If you're an eligible veteran,
what are most people putting down? Average 20%?
No, we see some, but we still see a lot of people are opting more for a 5 or a 10% down conventional option over FHA.
So they're still not putting down much.
No, not putting down much, but I think what the bigger part of this story is the fact that the guidelines have tightened up so much that the people that really should not have been buying a home previously are not allowed in the game because of the qualification requirements.
Okay.
So you can deal with small down payment as long as it's risked right, meaning that the people who are buying are not allowed to go up to excessive debt-to-income ratios.
And before, were they checking credit? Of course they were, but still.
They were, but the credit score requirements were much broader, looser,
also, they let you lie on, what was it called?
Yeah, there was stated income, stated asset, all kinds of
stated income, that's ridiculous. That's kind of saying, tell us what you make.
I agree. At one point in time, there was stated income, stated assets, stated value on some home equity products that were out there.
Okay.
That was crazy.
Frank, what were you going to say?
I was going to say, too, lenders and appraisers have become a lot more conservative. We're seeing appraisals come back, actually, underappraised. So it's not like they're just giving away these appraisals.
I haven't seen too many of those. I mean,
I've seen a few times.
Yeah, we've seen it too as well.
Coming
across
that's
where
under the sales price.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
And do people come with cash to closing?
On the front end of these, we're negotiate that they bring in the addition or close the appraisal.
And most of these people, in order to have that money to put down 20% or more or cash to closing, when an appraisal falls short, they're getting the money from a previous sale, right?
Some are first-time buyers that have saved the money and have the financial means to bridge that gap. But I think that Frank brings up a great point, and it's important for anybody out there shopping. Before you fall in love with a house and say, hey, I'm just going to pay this, don't assume it will appraise, because a lot of people don't do what Frank's doing, and we see it day in and day out, where have that discussion up front on what's your game plan if the appraisal does not support the purchase price of the home.
303-713-8255. I know when Frank was helping me buy, one of the things we were concerned about is, what did I ask? In a recession, what do you think? We looked at worst case scenario. And then we looked at normal, and then we looked at best case. Because you better be ready to hold it if things go to hell. You better be looking to hold it. But unlike commercial real estate, Brent, they don't call home loans due, even if the value goes way down, right?
Yeah, it is not a callable note of any kind. The only time you will be forced into foreclosure, if you're late,
you don't pay.
If you don't pay, you don't stay. That's the old rule
yeah,
that
but
we give our clients.
People do wake up sometimes, though, in that second mortgage they took out, it's time to pay, and it gets called.
They can call seconds or lines.
Oh, each year they can't they?
Or they can amortize.
Very rarely have I seen it happen, quite honestly. I think the only time we've run into that is when we went through the last financial crisis and they came to people and said, hey, and what they offered actually, and it turned out to be a great deal for a lot of people, was a buyout for a fraction of what they owed most of the time. So, but yeah, you were I've never seen it happen. That doesn't mean it can't on a home equity line of credit, but it's a much different environment from a lending qualification.
Right, but we're still, with a recession, we're still going to feel it because they may not be walking away from homes, but really the walking away from homes affected none of us in the economy. That's not what hurt us during the recession. What hurt us during the recession is people stopped spending money.
Yeah.
And then business dries up. I didn't care whether people walk away from their homes or not. If they stop spending money, we're screwed.
Yeah,
and that's what happens. I mean, I don't know one person here that can say, oh, yeah, it really irked me that those people walked away from homes. It didn't affect us at all. It affected FDIC. It affected the lenders. It affected future buyers. Okay, I have to take this quick break again. And Peter is renting a townhome. He wants to talk about a satellite dish. That's a very interesting topic. Also, Manuel has a problem with Sears. And then we have some lines open at 303-713-TALK-738255. Let's talk about Aurora Orthodontics. I talk about Dr. Kent Lawson like he's some kind of prophet, but man, what he did to the orthodontics industry truly is remarkable. I mean, I think he's known all over. People come from out of the country to see him. He said he started it with his adult practice and then, of course, did early orthodontics with kids. But here's what he said with new orthodontics. He said with adults, I can straighten your teeth and widen your palate without surgery. And oral surgeons were saying that's crap. The palate is froze, that gets fixed after a certain age. He's proven it's still soft enough to expand without surgery, without drugs, you don't have to have anything except these mouthpieces that gradually will widen palates. That alone straightens your teeth tremendously because they start dropping into place. Now, this happens over a 2-year period, the entire case. And during that time, he then can fit you with braces, Invisalign, and have an entire beautiful smile at the end of 2 years. Think about that. That's not veneers or covering up the problem. That's really adjusting your jaw and curing things like TMJ or sleep apnea. Because when you have a beautiful smile and a straight jaw, you have other benefits. And here's the most amazing thing. It's a fraction of the cost, a small cost compared to a mouthful of veneers, which can run $50,000 and $60,000 for veneers. Give Dr. Kent Lawson a call, 303-690-0100. 303-690-0100.
This report is brought to you by Napa.
Let's start off with the good news. That earlier wreck westbound 6th Avenue there approaching Sheridan has been cleared out of the way. However, now there is another crash clogging up the drive on northbound I-25. This one at Colfax. About 3 or 4 cars involved in this wreck. Big backups on that stretch of roadway. So if you got to travel downtown, give yourself plenty of time, or you might want to use an alternate route. Crash being cleared westbound I-70 at Vasquez. Crash north of town, northbound I-Pure Water and 30.
You know, this is ridiculous. Paradigm, Plumline, Fuller, Raleigh, and Rockies. This is, I took out Raleigh, but it would have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now that's really, really ridiculous.
The Napa bucket for $3.99 is back. All
right, Pure Water in 5 seconds.
$1 to the
Intrepid Fallen Heroes Fund with purchase. While supplies last, exclusions apply.
Let's talk about water filtration. That's really what it's all about. You know, when we talk about purifying your water, forget about all the gimmicks and all the hype and all of the fear. You don't need that. What it really boils down to is filtering. That's what it boils down to. And you can get free evaluations of your water and what the installation will take with a no-obligation price from Pure Water Choices. So that's really the important thing. Water is the single most important element in our body. Of course, clean water is a must. Okay? Filters come as whole house or point of use. The carbons filter out gases. They do not filter out sediment, medicines, minerals, chemicals. They do not. Just the gases. The media filters, like paper or ceramic, do the rest. You have to have a combination filter to be complete. Al will go over this, a master plumber, without fear, without hype, without pressure, to let you know what you need and where you need it. You can get a point of use or you can get a whole house. And he'll do a combination for you that gets rid of all of that stuff in your water because, yes, there are still trace amounts of medications and metals and other materials in our drinking water. And I highly recommend Pure Water Choices. Give them a call, 720-219-7818. 720-219-7818 for purewaterchoices.com.
Want to lower your mortgage rate and payments? Wake up to Carrie Kasem and Alex Michaels Sunday mornings at 10 as they bring you up-to-the-minute information and advice on mortgage rates and programs on the Get Mortgage Fit radio show, NMLS 6606 on 630 KHOW.
Hi, this is Courtney Pierce, president of Buy and Build Incorporated. You already know we have the best deals in Denver on kitchen cabinets and more, but now it's even better. We do granite. We have the best deal around on custom fabricated granite countertops too. Please don't overpay for your granite. Custom cut or prefabricated and ready to install. Buy and Build is your granite and cabinet headquarters with the best prices anywhere. Visit our showroom at 4800 Washington Street, Denver, or online at buyandbuild.net. You will be thrilled with the thousands you save at Buy and Build.
If you're looking for floor coverings, please consider Paradigm Interiors. These two guys started this business many years ago. 2003, and they wanted to do it differently. They wanted to have like a big showroom where people can order just about anything they want and get it in 1 or 2 days, but they didn't want to have the expense of stocking all this stuff, but they still have enough samples to make it wonderful. So you can see anything you need, like the hardwoods, laminates, vinyl luxury tile, you know, the waterproof carpeting, all of the new stuff and all of the conventional stuff all under one roof in a beautiful showroom, and you can get it ordered, as I said, in just a few days. Here's the real deal, though. What's really cool, you get the pricing that reflects that savings and that value of not having all of that inventory. So you get the big warehouse feel, and you get that small, down-to-earth customer service, like a personal design consultant to help you through the shopping, and then a personal supervisor for your particular job. 303-630-9204. They're on Evans, just west of Santa Fe, on Evans and Pecos. 303-630-9204.
Talking about the news that's happening as it's happening. Denver's talk station, 630 KHOW.
Hi, Tom Martino, your troubleshooter, 303-713-TALK, 303-713-8255. Peter rents a townhome. He wants to put up a satellite. Is that right, Peter?
That is correct.
And what's going wrong?
They're just not allowing it.
Well, now, who is not allowing it? First of all, is this a rental area, or are these owned and rented out by owners?
No, it's a townhome community in Centennial.
Meaning they're owners?
Yeah, Aimco is the owner of the whole property.
Okay, I guess I'm not clear. So these are all rentals, every one of them?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes.
So it's like a landlord community. Okay, because sometimes you have, townhomes individually owned and they rent out their own.
It used to be like that, but it's not anymore.
So then,
no, it's all owned by a corporation.
Then I would say you're going to be out of luck because they don't have to allow a satellite.
What about the OTARD regulation?
That for access is mainly for homes and HOA communities and in places where you own. But if you don't own this, you can't say you're being denied because you don't even own it. It's not yours. That people in rentals have tried, and I don't know of any that have been successful. But it's different. That's why I asked, is it a rental community or do people own them? It's a little different when you own something. And those standards, by the way, no one really enforces them. That's the problem. Here's what happens. Homeowners either put it up and then get sued by the HOA, or, they have a tough time, in other words, as to where to put it. They can still control all kinds of stuff. Where did you want to put it? Was it going to be hard mounted anywhere?
Yes, it would be hard mounted on the roof of the garage.
And they absolutely flat out said no.
Yeah. Well, yeah, they really don't want dishes entirely, and they're going through the property and finding out for people that, because it used to be privately, it was corporate owned, then it went back to private, and so when it was private, some people put dishes in that were,
so they're still there?
There's still some around, yeah, and anybody that moved into that property, was grandfathered in, basically, and they said if you want to use the dish, you can have it, otherwise you have Xfinity and you have CenturyLink, which, of course, I would never go with CenturyLink, so I have Xfinity right now, but they just absolutely, and I work for Dish, so I know what the technicians can do. They can find the stud on the roof of the garage.
Right.
And they just flat out, and I didn't know anything about this OTARD regulation until yesterday.
And what are you calling it? I call it, there's another name I have for it. You call it OTAR?
Yeah, OTARD. It's over-the-air something, I can't remember.
Yeah, it's over-the-air reception devices rule, but
yeah,
I knew it as freedom of access or something else. It was.
Yeah, it goes by different names, but I didn't know anything about it until somebody at a Dish told me. They said, well, they can't legally.
It comes from the Telecommunications Act.
Yeah, it is. It's all part. Yeah,
meaning that you could not deny people communication, and they were trying to, and they ruled. Somebody ruled, some court or the FCC, I think, made a determination that it is a form of communication having a direct broadcast satellite.
Yeah, that's it. The other thing, the only other thing I want to say about that is that they mandate that you have at least $100,000 of renter's liability, which I do.
I don't know if you have to have that much. Really, $100,000?
That's
it really it really depends on what you're worth, because you're only protecting what you're worth, because nobody's going to come and sue you if you had a $50,000 policy and it's a $500,000 loss and you're not worth anything. They're not going to bother you just because they know.
Can't get blood out of a turnip.
Right. So usually people insure their net worth. That's usually what they do.
Which ours is I think ours is set at 50, but I don't know. According to their rules,
listen to this. Hold on.
You have to have $100,000 liability.
I want to show you something. I want to tell you something first. This rule does apply to rental property.
It does.
Where the renter has. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
Yes.
Then why'd you let me tell you? Hold on. Why'd you let me tell you that?
A little bit last night.
Why'd you let me tell you that? Did you hear me? Why did you let me tell you that if you knew it applied? I told you you can't do anything about it when you're a renter. I was wrong.
The act applies to both tenants and landlords.
I was just reading it. It says the commission amended the rule so that it also applies to rental property. Listen, where the renter has an exclusive use area, such as a balcony or a patio. But I think they can deny you roof, like screwing into the roof.
Yeah.
That's where I think they got you.
Like, so if it damages two tiles, roof tiles, or shingles, whatever you want to call them.
But it wouldn't be two. It would be 2 times how many units.
But listen, it's not. All I'm saying is this.
This garage, it's a 2-car attached garage, which.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't apply to that. If you had a balcony or a patio, you could use it. Maybe
I do have a balcony, but it faces north. It faces north, and there's.
Well, maybe you can find another area on the garage or outside or something. I don't know. I'm just saying that's the only place.
I tried it, and we looked. I mean,
that's the only place they have you. So Peter,
I worked for Dish, and we walked around, and there was nothing else that we could do except the.
It's just it's too bad. Too bad. I mean, like I said, it does apply to renters, though. I was wrong. If you're listening, if you have a private area, exclusive area where you can put it, like a balcony or patio, and they can deny you to have it hard fixed. They can deny that. That's good to know. All right. Plumbline Services is there for you. For plumbing, heating, cooling, electric, and drains. And let me tell you, when it comes to that kind of thing, you want a company that is not only honest but skillful. I mean, you need that combination, don't you? And I want to talk about Plumbline. They will, first of all, pick a time. They will be out there. They will call when they're on their way or about 20 minutes out. They will assess the job and give you the price up front before work begins. And then they will guarantee 100% satisfaction. So you will never spend a dime until that technician checks everything out. And if you want a second opinion, they will give you a free second opinion at no charge. A detailed second opinion on your furnace, your water heater, an electrical panel change, or any major job. You can call them for details because they want to make sure you're getting a great deal, and better yet, they want to take a shot at your business. But listen, we've had times where people were told they need a furnace and they did not need a furnace. So Plumbline is honest, but they will also, of course, do that free second opinion if you really do need it. If you don't, they're going to tell you as well. They have half off new air conditioning with the purchase of a furnace as well. Give them a call, 303-586-1086, 303-586-1086.
This report is brought to you by CC. The drive on I-25 downtown is a nightmare. I know that's a...
And you think earnings are going to come out great? I think they're going to be good today. So, okay, so I got to open it. I just have to open it. You got green stuff?
Unless my phone's not working. Dow, NASDAQ, Bond, Bank of America, Goldman Sachs, Google. Richmond? Maybe this is just from yesterday. It's probably not.
Have you ever had a losing year?
No.
Most days it's been green though.
Most days. Oh, for sure.
I have not had a losing year.
Now at CC's,
I'm gonna buy 500.
Yeah. Free medium one-topping marbles that go for just $4 each. Only
I already got 1,000.
at participating locations for a limited time. Purchase
Buy an option.
up free pizzas.
All right. If you have an injury, the first thing people have to do, of course, is have it, attended to by a physician. All of that is common sense. But, so many people, they lose their jobs, they lose loss of enjoyment in life, vacations, whatever it is. If you're wondering, should I take this and is anyone responsible for this? You ought to look into it. Because many times with personal injury law, when someone is responsible, they have to pay your losses. You have two things. First, you have to decide, is someone negligent? Second, you have to decide if it's worth going after and what it's worth. John Fuller can help you with all of this. And he can help because he's been known to cross insurance boundaries, meaning that one policy may not cover it, but another one in the family will. They have clauses in these policies that are crazy. And John Fuller has been able to collect from third-party insurance companies much of the time, even when you think all hope is lost. I guess what I'm saying is, check out John Fuller if you have an injury, and at least talk to him. It will cost you nothing. It's all complimentary. And if he takes your case after you exhaust all of your questions and you know you like him, then he only charges a percentage of what he collects for you. John Fuller, Fuller Law. Here's the website, personalinjuryco.com, 303-597-4500, 303-597-4500.
The IRS is the most feared agency in the world. You've heard ads from other companies offering to help taxpayers only if they...
I was disappointed. Why? Because they have Spider-Man cussing. They have a bunch of unnecessary language in there. And you have kids in there watching.
From Spider-Man?
From Spider-Man.
What's it rated?
I guess it's PG-13.
Is it?
But Spider-Man's become quite foul, man. I guess that's just...
Spider-Man's got a mouth on him, huh?
I guess he's got a mouth on him, you
Yo,
know?
Spidey
plays Spider-Man this time?
Some kid. I don't even know who it is, really. So.
I like the guy, what was the guy's name? I can't remember. McGregor?
Oh, Toby, yeah.
Toby, yeah. I thought he was the best.
Looked like a 12-year-old.
He was pretty good.
Yeah. That's why I liked him.
Yeah.
And I liked that first one he did where he actually got bit and the whole thing.
Yeah.
Unless it's G or PG, the only movies I go to are with my children.
I guess, yeah.
And we got to take the 7-year-olds.
That's all we ever do is go see kid movies. Yeah.
Rocky's Autos is located on 63rd and Federal. Why do I tell you that? Because really, it's so convenient. And it has plenty of parking, but I really like is they have a couple blocks there of nothing but cars, trucks, SUVs, and vans. The first thing you want when you shop around is selection, so you can see a bunch of different vehicles, different colors, different models, different makes, different price ranges. If you shop around, please do this, take some notes, and then stop at Rocky's, because Rocky's proudly displays all of their prices. They will tell you what your trade is worth, and they will get you financed there because they also have variety in financing. 40 lenders to choose from, and I really mean 40 different lenders. So some lenders are better for those who only have a little to put down. Some are better if you have a lot to put down. Or some are better if you have a trade that's overvalued and another one won't believe it and another one will. What I mean is there are different lenders with different tastes. You have to use the lender that's best for you. Here's what I love. You'll always get great, clean cars at Rocky's with a Carfax with every purchase. They're open Monday through Saturday, 9 to 8. You don't find high pressure. You don't find a lot of BS. What you find are just friendly people making great deals. 63rd and Federal, 303-426-4646.
Sean Hannity lives here. Really, he lives here. He's got a cot in the back. Just ask him.
Oh, you want to come back to my place?
Really?
Was it like Pepsi Center? Yeah, it was a Pepsi Center. Wow. So, I get tickets.
Okay. I want to remind you that when they're not here, you can go to them directly. Frank Duran, the real estate man, 303-920-1622. You can find him on the referral list. Stephanie Thomas, 719. She's in Colorado Springs, RE/MAX, 719-687-2052, 719-687-2052. Or on my referral list, Brent Ivinson, Ideal Home Loans. For your next Ideal Home Loan, 303-867-7000, 867-7000. Scott, this troubles me. You're saying a personal injury attorney took your entire settlement?
Well, to be clear, he took everything that was left after medical expenses were paid.
Well, okay. Well, just so you understand the way it works, and I want to ask you straight up because I'm crossing my fingers here. Was this attorney on my referral list?
No. No. Well, I don't think so. I don't know.
Who is it?
Probably not.
Who is it?
And I told your screener that I kind of like the guy, but
you don't want to talk about him, and that's fine. You don't want to use his name, that's fine. Let me explain how it works. Let's say you have a settlement of, I just want to take a round number, of $100,000. Okay.
Okay.
Now, just so you know, the way it works is they take off the top 33%, right?
Yeah. And he even only took 30%.
Okay. So they take the 30%, and we may have to break for news. I don't know, Mark. What are you telling me, 30%?
No, I just noticed that, but hey, the juice is loose.
Did they let him out? They let him out on parole?
They're granting him parole.
Well, it should be, because it's not for murder, it's for something else, and it should be. But anyway, I want to get to something. So they take 30%, which is 30 grand, right? So now you got the 30 grand, that leaves 70. Then out of the 70, they take all of your expenses out, and you get the rest. So did you have 70,000 in expenses?
If you get to the details, nitty gritty of your example, and use the numbers that I'm looking at right here.
Well, give me the numbers. Give me the quickly, because we're going to run out of time. Give me the numbers.
Okay, it's $14,000 settlement. He took 30%. That's fine.
Well, hold on. So what? So he took an actual 30%. He actually took 4,200.
Correct.
Okay, then what?
And then after all the medical expenses,
well,
I would get $224.
Well, okay. Well, what were your medical expenses?
Right at everything else.
Well, that's the way it should be. What were you expecting? You don't pay your medical?
No. That's fine, and that's why I didn't want to use his name, because it was like, okay.
The only thing you have to worry about is, first, were you overcharged for medical? I don't know why. I mean, did you use insurance for any of this?
This was all on their insurance.
Okay, then you did actually have medical expenses then, right?
Oh, yeah. I had chiropractor, doctor appointments, physical rehab.
Okay, all right, so you did. But did you have health insurance for that, or med pay coverage?
That would be curious to know, because, no, I had no health insurance. I did have med pay on my...
Then your med pay should have paid those. You should be able to pocket that money, because med pay you don't have to reimburse. So the question is, did you have med pay?
Yes.
Okay, then why didn't you submit those for med pay? Why did you have out-of-pocket expenses of whatever it was, $9,500?
Right. Now, that's the question. My med pay, I paid for my med pay. That's my insurance.
Right.
So why? So the question, I guess, is about worrying. So if this is normal, that
Scott, here's the deal. Did you submit that $9,500 in bills that you were reimbursed for? Did you submit those to MedPay? Did your MedPay pay for those?
All of my med pay, I paid. There was $5,000 paid out of my policy for med.
All right, I can discuss this more tomorrow, but what I'm telling you is, on the surface, it does not sound like you were ripped off at all. It's normal. Just make sure everyone has MedPay to pay their bills, and that's it, because MedPay is cheap, and everyone should have it. I'm Troubleshooter Tom Martino. Save all your problems for me.
Are you taking Viagra for ED? Well, now you can get Sildenafil, the active ingredient in Viagra, in generic 20 milligrams.
I just didn't understand it.
Now, does he do something down the